glasses. No more dry eye from overwearing your contact lenses. Right now, Bismarck LASIK is offering free consultations for LASIK procedures. Break free from the daily hassles and expenses of glasses and contacts. Life is clearly better. Book your free consultation today with Bismarck LASIK and see the difference. Call 222-2020 or schedule online at bismarcklasik.com.
The 30-inch Galactic Pizza is out of this world. There's nothing like it anywhere else in Minot. Too much to handle? Try one of our famous large specialty pizzas like the Blue Buffalo. Get the best pizza in Minot and play some laser tag. At Planet Pizza, South Broadway, Minot.
You remember where this goes?
I don't know.
Are you sure it was a clicking and not a zoom, zoom?
I think your quash litter valve's stuck.
Do you even have insurance?
If we soak it, it should be good.
No matter how much you know or don't know about your vehicle, trust the experts at Tires Plus. Real answers from real mechanics.
Inspections are free to ensure your vehicle is always in peak condition.
Thinking service? Think Tires Plus.
Thanks for buying some fruit.
Great smiles come from Vibetta Orthodontics. Vibetta Orthodontics is a certified Invisalign provider. Invisalign fits your budget and your lifestyle. Braces for children, teens, and adults with affordable monthly payments. Schedule your complimentary consultation and exam by logging on to VibettaOrthodontics.com or by calling 701-839-6010.
Great smiles come from Vibetta Orthodontics.
At Schatz Crossroads, we make 8 gallons of homemade ranch dressing every day. So you can smother your dinner salad with it, dip those crispy golden French fries in it, and dunk your breaded chicken strips. You can even cover your... Wait, no. You can't put ranch on steak. Or can you? Schatz Crossroads. Don't forget the ranch.
Life is all about moments. Big moments. Small moments. And those moments you can't put into words. It's how we at First International Bank and Trust live first and have been for more than 110 years. One customer, one family, one moment at a time. First International Bank and Trust. Live first.
This broadcast presentation on the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by Shields, Premier Chiropractic, First International Bank and Trust, Schatz Crossroads, Sport Clips, Tires Plus, First Western Bank and Trust, the Minot Hockey Boosters, Roger Ward Moving and Storage, Clean Tech, the UPS Store, Magic City Inspections, Planet Pizza, Minot's Finest Collision Center, Subway, Century Eyewear, Qdoba, North Country Sportswear, Morelli's Distributing, Jersey Mike Subs, Pro Style Production DJ Services, and the Beaupre Law Firm.
We raise the bar on bar food with sandwiches, tenders, and burgers. There's more where this came from. To the greatest of all times, Buffalo Wild Wings.
The magic of what we do really comes down to combining different aspects of patient care. Here at Premier Chiropractic, we love combining soft tissue work, the adjustment, and exercises together. We found that this gets the best results for our patients. We have 3 chiropractors to fit the needs of the entire family, a rehab area for our exercises and equipment for any athlete to improve performance. Give us a call and we will get you back to doing what you love.
Timeout.
Who calls a timeout in this game?
Me, I'm icing the kicker.
Really?
It'll give us more time to talk about First Western Bank and Trust.
Like our convenient online banking.
Along with smart trust service options.
We're all about hometown service with bankers that know you and the community.
Okay, go ahead and kick.
I don't believe this.
First Western Bank and Trust. You can bank on us.
The right way to top a sub is with real red wine vinegar made from red grapes and no food coloring. And the right way to film it is in slow motion. Obviously. Because authentic ingredients make a sub above.
If your eyes could talk, they'd tell you life is better with LASIK. No more reaching for your glasses. No more dry eye from overwearing your contact lenses. Right now, Bismarck LASIK is offering free consultations for LASIK procedures. Break free from the daily hassles and expenses of glasses and contacts. Life is clearly better. Book your free consultation today with Bismarck LASIK and see the difference. Call 222-2020 or schedule online at bismarcklasik.com.
The 30-inch Galactic Pizza is out of this world. There's nothing like it anywhere else in Minot. Too much to handle? Try one of our famous large specialty pizzas like the Blue Buffalo. Get the best pizza in Minot and play some laser tag. At Planet Pizza, South Broadway, Minot.
You remember where this goes?
I don't know.
Are you sure it was a clicking and not a zoom?
I think your quash litter valve's stuck.
Do you even have insurance?
If we soak it, it should be good.
No matter how much you know or don't know about your vehicle, trust the experts at Tires Plus. Real answers from real mechanics.
Inspections are free to ensure your vehicle is always in peak condition.
Thinking service? Think Tires Plus.
Thanks for points approved.
Great smiles come from Vibetta Orthodontics. Vibetta Orthodontics is a certified Invisalign provider. Invisalign fits your budget and your lifestyle. Braces for children, teens, and adults with affordable monthly payments. Schedule your complimentary consultation and exam by logging on to VibettaOrthodontics.com or by calling 701-839-6010.
Great smiles come from Vibetta Orthodontics.
At Shots Crossroads, we make 8 gallons of homemade ranch dressing every day. So you can smother your dinner salad with it, dip those crispy golden French fries in it, and dunk your breaded chicken strips. You can even cover your... Wait, no. You can't put ranch on steak. Or can you? Shots Crossroads. Don't forget the ranch.
Life is all about moments. Big moments. Small moments. And those moments you can't put into words. It's how we at First International Bank and Trust live first and have been for more than 110 years. One customer, one family, one moment at a time. First International Bank and Trust. Live first.
This broadcast presentation on the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by Shields, Premier Chiropractic, First International Bank and Trust, Shots Crossroads, Sport Clips, Tires Plus, First Western Bank and Trust, the Minot Hockey Boosters, Roger Ward Moving and Storage, Clean Tech, the UPS Store, Magic City Inspections, Planet Pizza, Minot's Finest Collision Center, Subway, Century Eyewear, Qdoba, North Country Sportswear, Morelli's Distributing, Jersey Mike Subs, Pro Style Production DJ Services, and the Beaupre Law Firm.
alone, shorthanded. Here's a drive. He shoots and scores. Esslinger dinked him out of his shorts. The Samarzik, who's got a 3-point night going, sends it in front. Schulte top shelf. Oh, what a play. It's the Demons back with it again. Here's a drive. Top shelf. They scored. Now Swagstew's in. He'll turn and fire. Top shelf. Oh, Ben Swagstew right where Grandma keeps the cookies. Came up big back door. Another. Oh, my goodness. Down into the splits goes Trey Sortland. Somebody call the cops. That was highway robbery. Here's a slop shot. Ekblad from the line. He shoots and scores. Here with Lewis. But Lewis turns and fires. He scored. Lead pass. In comes Hamsbaugh. He's all alone. He shoots and scores. Bucks on in front. Here's a drive. One-timer. Deal shoots. He scores. Swagstew's into the zone. Oh, he's dumped. How about the hit of the week coming there? The right-handed shot beats Conklin, sends it into the net. Van Dan takes a 1-0 lead. Out in front, Morelli's got it. He'll turn and fire. He shoots and scores. Oh, boy, Mac Morelli with a twisted wrister. A combined record of 43 wins and 8 losses on the season. We'll move tonight to 44 wins and 9 losses on the season. 1 game remains in the state of North Dakota for boys high school hockey. It's the big dance tonight as the Red River Rough Riders take on the Davies Eagles at Shields Arena here in Fargo, North Dakota for all the marbles tonight on a Saturday night. On a beautiful day here in North Dakota in the beautiful Fargo Shields Arena. Welcome into our Shields pregame show for the North Dakota State Boys High School Hockey Championship on the PSP Network. The pregame show tonight brought to you by our friends at Shields. Shields offers everything you need from sporting goods to clothing and fashion to hunting and fishing gear, you name it. Shields has it all. They bring you the pregame show tonight. I'm Nick Hulberg, glad to be here at the Shields Arena. Actually, I couldn't be more excited with what we just got done seeing and a double overtime thriller victory for Fargo North South, taking down Davies in the girls' state championship. We get set for the boys here tonight where the 2 best teams in North Dakota remain. We're joined tonight by Dave Wilson, former goaltender of North Dakota high school hockey over on the west side of the state in Minot. Dave joined us for the semis last night, and he is here again tonight. First things first, Mr. Wilson, are you ready tonight for a state champion to be crowned here in Fargo?
Oh my, Nick, the butterflies are gone, I tell you. I know after that girls game, a fabulous finish, a 1-1 overtime game that goes to double overtime, so we had to wait a little bit longer. It seems like the tension just kind of built in the building as it filled in, and for those girls, what a fabulous atmosphere for them to finish their season on. You've got 5,000 people almost cheering you on for your state championship, and just a great hockey game. And if this game follows what that girls hockey game did, I think we're going to have a fabulous night.
These 2 towns and schools are separated by about 70 miles. Straight north of here in Grand Forks is where you find Red River, the perennial powerhouse in high school hockey. They, along with their crosstown rival Grand Forks Central, seem to be in the big dance every single year. Red River tonight looks to track down title number 19. Davies, on the other hand, looks to track down their first ever state championship here tonight. Any factor in that here tonight with maybe just a confidence level from the prestige of the Red River Rough Riders compared to Davies here tonight? But Davies is on their home ice.
Yeah, and I mean, you can't deny Red River was in the state championship last year with a lot of these kids. I mean, after that game last year when they lost to Central 3-2 in overtime, the first thing I thought to myself is, my goodness, there are a lot of underclassmen on this Red River team. So a year from now, we'll likely be seeing them in the state tournament. I think that's advantage to them. They've been there, done that. But that seems like it's every Red River team. But on the other side for Fargo Davies, it is their home ice. They slept in their home beds. I don't know if Red River stayed in a hotel or not. I'm guessing they probably didn't. But they're at home all day, ate mom's cooking all day, didn't have to get on a bus. So, advantage them. It's their home locker room, their home ice, and, no better time to win a state championship and then in front of your home Fargo crowd.
Well, I have to say this. I went down and interviewed both coaches before the showdown tonight. We'll hear from Tim Scarperud of Red River. We'll hear from Nate Metcalf coming up in our Tires Plus Coaches Corner in just a few moments here. But going down underneath the venue here, down into the belly of this place in the beautiful Shields Arena, which I'm going to plug it one more time. This is a great place for the State High School Hockey Championships to be held. I don't think it can get much better than the Shields Arena for this. The atmosphere is wild. But for the Eagles, inside and diving a little bit further into that conversation of having a locker room that's painted in your colors with the stamp and your logo right on that door, a parking spot out back that's reserved for you all season long. From the sports psychology side of that, Dave, what kind of advantage really is that? Take that to another level for us from maybe the player's perspective and maybe the goaltender in Wemcom, who certainly likes to be on his home ice here tonight.
Well, as a goaltender, I mean, it's all about keeping it in your norm. You know, what's the norm on game day? And, you know, they have a 7 o'clock game. I mean, they're starting a little bit later tonight, but what's the norm? What time do I get to the rink? This is my locker room. Where do I stretch? Where do I warm up? You know, where do I run a little bit? Where do we kick the soccer ball around? And, you know, keeping it in the norms for teams is, you know, when I was coaching, that was all like, let's keep things as normal as possible. Game day, you know, these kids, we didn't have to get on a bus. We don't have to get on a bus at 4 o'clock and drive up to Grand Forks. You know, I think that's a definite advantage for them to, you know, just keep things simple, and it's the same way we've done things all year long, guys. And, you know, it's just one more night of going through the process of getting it done on our home ice.
I have to ask you this one as well. Last night in the semifinals, it was Davies that matched up with West Fargo Cheyenne, and that was a matchup that saw Davies be the real buzzsaw that we talked about all season long. They won 6-0 over the Mustangs last night. It wasn't the same situation for Red River. They had a tight one with Fargo South last night. It ended 3-1. 2 power play goals late in the game on a quote-unquote controversial hit is how the Forum called it today, the newspaper here at Fargo. We can get into that in a moment as well. But if you're one of these coaches here today, was there one of those games that you would rather be in last night, getting you to the state championship here today? I would think they would both have their advantages, a runaway train where everybody rolled, and a tight-knit hockey game that had everybody's emotions and tempers high in the other one.
Yeah, I mean, as a coach, I think you'd say obviously the 6-0 game where you're able to roll all your lines, and you know the Red River and South Shanley game got a little bit tight late, so maybe your top guys used a little bit more energy. But the way that Red River played last night and controlled that hockey game, you're Tim Scarperud, you were happy that was tight and you were tested, and your team showed that they really belong to be here. You know, Davies, like I said, they were able to roll 4 lines, play all 6 defensemen in that third period, and maybe they have a little bit more legs and you know, maybe a little bit more jump. But the way that Red River is playing right now, I mean, Fargo Davies is going to need all of that jump tonight against a pretty deep and fast and experienced Red River team.
These two teams played twice this year in the regular season. It was a split. Red River came here to the Shields Arena and took it to Davies 5-1. Davies then traveled north up to take on Red River at Purple Arena. They won 5-3 in that matchup, and a couple games that on the score sheet weren't exactly close. The rubber match here tonight, is there one factor in this hockey game for either team in your mind, Dave, that somebody has an advantage here or a tipping point where they might look to capitalize on the other opponent's weakness in some facet of the game?
Well, you know, you'd say, well, maybe experience and senior leadership, but then it goes back to the Red River kids have all been here, you know, in the state championship last year. I would say, hey, you have great senior leadership and all that, but, you know, you can throw that out the window. I mean, the Red River kids are experienced. You say goaltending, we both have great goaltending, good specialty teams. I mean, they're both great skating teams. I mean, I'm really looking forward to how this game gets going. If it's a feeling out process, really, I mean, is Red River going to want to use their speed right away, attack Davies, get it behind their defensemen? I mean, these guys really don't like to dump the puck. I mean, that's a kind of a pivotal thing in both these youth programs is, hey, we get to the blue line, we don't dump the puck. We carry it in with speed and we create chances, and that's a last ditch effort. So, yeah, I'm kind of interested to see if it's a feeling out process here, and you know, how the first couple minutes play it out. If it just kind of calm and let's play, you know, let's keep things kind of close to the chest, or if it's boys, it's going to be wide open, and the skill guys better show up, and your goaltenders better be ready to go from the get-go.
We have no premier sponsorship from Red Bull. However, through the postseason of high school hockey in North Dakota, we certainly should have one. With the amount of fluid ounces of Red Bull I've taken down through the hatch here in 22 tournament time. Tonight, we're fully locked and loaded in that category, but I don't think any extra energy is going to be needed because this one should have everything we need and more to set the table for a high-energy, rough and tumble showdown here tonight with the best teams in North Dakota on the ice surface, and the big trophy is on the line. When we come back to the Shields Arena here in Fargo, we will break down the numbers of this matchup. Then we'll have our coaches' corners. We'll look at each goaltender. Dave and I will have some keys to the game. Then we're just going to sit back and relax and let this one fall into place tonight because it will be a dandy as the Riders and the Davies Eagles come together for the final game of the 21-22 North Dakota boys high school hockey season. You've got it locked and loaded live on the PSP Network.
Carson, timeout.
Who calls a timeout in this game?
Me, I'm icing the kicker.
Really?
It'll give us more time to talk about First Western Bank and Trust.
Like our convenient online banking.
Along with smart trust service options.
We're all about hometown service with bankers that know you and the community.
Okay, go ahead and kick.
I don't believe this.
First Western Bank and Trust. You can bank on us.
The 30-inch Galactic Pizza is out of this world. There's nothing like it anywhere else in Minot. Too much to handle? Try one of our famous large specialty pizzas like the Blue Buffalo. Get the best pizza in Minot and play some laser tag. At Planet Pizza, South Broadway, Minot.
The magic of what we do really comes down to combining different aspects of patient care. Here at Premier Chiropractic, we love combining soft tissue work, the adjustment, and exercises together. We found that this gets the best results for our patients. We have 3 chiropractors to fit the needs of the entire family, a rehab area for our exercises and equipment for any athlete to improve performance. Give us a call and we will get you back to doing what you love.
The big red machine that is Red River. They've got black uniforms on tonight that says Red River in cursive across the chest and belly. Red helmets, pants, and gloves. Let me tell you, they look mean. Something about those uniforms that scares every single player and fan across North Dakota, unless you're from Grand Forks and not wearing silver and maroon and call yourself a knight. They go against the Davies Eagles tonight. It's Red River and Fargo Davies that's going to be in home white uniforms tonight with that Cardinal red on and the Vegas gold trim. Home game for Davies here in this one. But anytime Red River comes to town, you know that you're going to be in store for an absolute dogfight. Welcome back into our Shields pregame show alongside of Dave Wilson. I'm Nick Hulberg. Thanks for joining us here tonight for North Dakota High School hockey in the final game of the year, the biggest of the season. It's the state championship tonight from the Shields Arena here in Fargo, North Dakota. Dave, on paper, these two hockey teams, when they come together, we know that we're going to see a couple things here tonight. Solid goaltending is number one. Both of these teams are stacked in that category. We're going to see a handful of all East region selections and a handful of players that are going to move on to another level of hockey after their senior seasons, and some of them maybe even before here tonight. But are there any kids in this matchup that you really look forward to seeing here tonight, or maybe to see if they can carry an extra load tonight that need to take this game into their hands? In my mind, with what we've seen Stibby do here at this tournament, he would be somebody that I'm maybe referring to in a sense here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Stibby's the guy that sticks out right away for Fargo Davies. I'm super excited to see how their goaltender plays tonight. You know, it's a different atmosphere with a state championship game, and I'm anxious to see if we see the normal Wimcombe in the net, because he's always out there barking and yelling, and that's what I've seen from him. But you know, the state tournament's a little bit different animal in the state championship game, and you know, will he be able to play, you know, his game with all the different things and the glitz and glamour going on with the pregame show and all that. And for Red River, I'm super excited to see the Reynolds and the Sproul kids, the kids that have been there before, the defenseman Leduc, the all EDC kid, just a howitzer from the blue line. I mean, it's good. It's a game with a lot of different stars. So to pick just one out is a really tough thing to do. I mean, Berger for them, he's given up 1 goal in the state tournament so far, and this is the biggest test of probably his high school career tonight and in his last start. So a lot of guys are going to have pretty good games, and it might even be someone that we're not talking about, a Dylan Jackson or a guy like a Bullinger, runs Davies' second line that steps up for them and makes a difference. And that's the great part about state championship games. It's not always the guy that you pick. I mean, unless it's 30 years ago, Tom Fillion for the Minot High Magicians. Yeah. I had to throw that in there because it's the 30-year anniversary of the Magi winning the state at the old REA. But that's a great thing. There's always kind of a different hero that steps up and gets the job done in these situations. And I'm excited to see who it is for either of these teams.
30 years ago, that title game that you talked about was an All-West Region final, and it was Bismarck High and Minot that played to an 8-7 shootout. It wasn't an actual shootout, but it was a shootout per se. The way they got up and down the ice, they scored 15 goals in the hockey game. We're not going to see that here tonight, are we, by any chance?
I would assume the goaltending's probably a little bit better. And actually, the goaltender for Minot High that year, Dan Leshevsky, ended up coaching me in the Minot Hockey Booster program. And we always kind of talked about giving up 7 goals in a state championship game and winning. And he said, yeah, myself and the Bismarck goaltender may have given up a couple weak ones there along the way, but you get to call yourself a state champion. It doesn't matter if you give up 7 goals, you give up 15 goals as long as you win the game. But, 15 goals in a game like this with as good as these teams are defensively, that might be a pipe dream for those guys that like wide-open hockey. But I think closer to the vest, 3-1, 3-2 in that category is what's going to get this one done.
I'm excited to see here tonight, and I'm really hoping that this is a game that's been officiated, a game that will be officiated the way that the rest of this tournament has been, and that's with an A+ rating across the board. These refs have let them play this entire state tournament. They've had some of the best refereeing talent on the ice the entire weekend here in Fargo, and tonight no different. Are we going to see more of a no-holds-barred matchup here tonight, and more of a prison rules set of rules tonight from these refs and in these big matchups tonight, do you expect?
I don't think so. And there's 2 really good officials out there tonight. Michael Holm and Dan Emery actually worked the Red River South Shanley game yesterday, and I thought they did a great job. I mean, no official wants to call a major penalty in the 3rd period of the game. And there's going to be people from Fargo that are really upset with that call, and people from Grand Forks that are going to say, well, that's what the boarding penalty is. You knock a player like that into the boards. That's a 5-minute major per how the rules are written. And you almost want to leave it at the players too. We're like, guys, let's play under control tonight. This is the last game of the season. It's a really big stage. Just nothing dumb out there. No runs at anybody. I mean, play physical, but don't cross the line to where we're having to kill penalties, because both of these teams have fabulous power plays and they've got a bunch of skill guys. And why give a kid like a Sproul or a Stibbe a chance on the power play to make a big hit where just make a hockey play, dump the puck in. And I know your buddies are watching in the student section and you want to hit somebody really big in front of your girlfriend, but this is a state championship game, so let's put the team first, and nothing dumb to make the officials have to make that decision whether you cross the line or not.
Yeah, good call. And it's tough to do that, especially with 5,000 people in here tonight. A venue that holds 6, according to Google, and the capacity levels here at the Shields Arena. That's a sold-out show where the fire marshal might need to be called. Tonight, I don't know if we get to that point here tonight, but it's going to be pretty darn close. 5,000 people would be a fair assumption of what we'll see in this place tonight. And with that many people in this venue, with these 2 teams that are that talented, we know that it's going to be a lively atmosphere in here for the showdown. Dave, it's time to take a look at our UPS store matchup on paper here tonight. The UPS store delivers this matchup on paper. They're located on South Broadway in Minot. They're open Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 7, and Saturdays, 8:30 to 3. The UPS store, located in the Marketplace Foods Plaza for all of your packing and shipping needs. It is the UPS store. Let's start with the visitors on the scoreboard tonight, the Red River Rough Riders. 12-3 in the East Region when it was all said and done. 20-5 coming into tonight's matchup, and a team that's led by Carter Sproul. He had 3 points last night. This is a all EDC selection, 17 goals and 23 assists for him. Leads the charge here for Red River. You go next in line, and you've got 36 points for Mikey Coleman. Kind of quiet last night. He was an all EDC selection. Another all EDC selection was Wyatt Leduc on the back end with 22 points. But the distribution on the board for these guys, it's pretty impressive. Jake Grandstand with 22 points, 19 for Riley Vetch, 24 for Mason Reynolds. He's maybe one of the more underrated players, according to us here at the broadcast booth during the state tournament. Grant Gardner's got 19. Carson Scarperud's got 26, 22, as mentioned, for Leduc. You got Dylan Jackson, who was our player of the game last night, with 16. I mean, these guys have plenty of depth, plenty of scoring, and guys that can bury it from line number 1 to number 4 here tonight. Are they going to roll them all, do you think, in this showdown?
I think in a game like this, feeling out process early, can we get all our lines out there if everyone's rolling? And it's a situation. I mean, the last game of the year, if you've got a line that's not going, that line's going to get skipped. I mean, obviously your first line is probably not going to get skipped, but if my third line's playing better than my 2, and I can slip my 4th line in there if in a last change scenario off a TV timeout where Red River puts their 3rd out, and I can throw my 4th out there in a face-off in Red River's end, I'm absolutely going to do that. A big advantage for Davies right there. But I mean, as we've seen with Red River losing Scarperud for the season, I mean they don't miss a beat with their lines. Those kids still, he led a pretty good second line for Red River, and they replaced him, and those lines meshed and looked like they didn't miss a beat without him.
Time to take a look at Davies. 47 points for Barrett Stibbe on the season. He leads the charge. 27 for Easton Rarick. You've got 19 for Kenko Fritz. 42, though, for Cam Bullinger. That's a player that's probably got some major looks here at this tournament. Jack Bullinger on the back end's got 9 points on the season. 21 for Archbold. 15 for Windjam. Gotta like to see this Davies team get up and down the ice as well. Talked to both coaches earlier on tonight. We're going to take our final break of the pregame show before we talk to those coaches here tonight to the Tires Plus Coaches Corner. Let's do that now as we get geared up and ready for the official introductions. The lights are going to go out at Shields Arena, and when they do, we'll hear from both coaches on what the game plan is tonight heading into the state championship game. It's the Davies Eagles, number 1 seed out of the East region, taking on the Red River Rough Riders. They come in as the number 3 seed in the East. Guess what? These teams finished mere points away from each other at 1 and 2 in the conference during the regular season. Davies won the East Region regular season crown. Throw all the numbers out the window tonight and just get strapped in for what should be a real dogfight between these two East Region powerhouses. State tournament coverage here on the PSP Network. Let's talk to both coaches when we come back.
Galactic pizza is out of this world. There's nothing like it anywhere else in Minot. Too much to handle? Try one of our famous large specialty pizzas like the Blue Buffalo. Get the best pizza in Minot and play some laser tag. At Planet Pizza, South Broadway, Minot.
Welcome back to our Shields pregame show. It's time now for the Tires Plus Coaches Corner, State Championship Edition. We're joined by the Red River Rough Riders head coach, Mr. Tim Scarperud. First of all, Coach, thanks for some time here tonight.
Absolutely. Glad to do it.
State championships are easy to come by, it seems, for Red River. First question out of the gate for you. What is it about Grand Forks hockey that makes you guys such a powerhouse? I mean, the Big Red Machine is certainly on par again here this year.
Well, I wish they were easy to come by, but no, it's tough to. You got to go out and earn them, and we expect a great battle tonight. But you know what's great about Grand Forks is when the kids grow up, they want to be hockey players, and I think it starts with the UND. The Fighting Sioux program starts there, and just trickles down all the way to the young kids, and all the players and all the athletes want to be hockey players.
On paper, to me, this looks like it should be just an old-fashioned gunfight here tonight with Davies. I mean, up and down the ice. Do you feel that you have any advantage in this hockey game? Is there a weakness that they might have that you can expose here tonight?
I think you're spot on. I think it's going to be a great battle. Two really good teams, and they both play hard and fast and physical. And I totally agree with you. I think it's going to be a great battle.
How good is Noah Berger, really? I mean, this kid has been fantastic numbers-wise and comes up big again here in the tournament last night. 178 goals against average for him. Touch on what kind of player this kid is.
Yeah, you know what? Noah had had a tough go of it, only in the fact of, over the last 2 years as a senior, as a sophomore, he probably played 5, 6, 7, 8 games. And then as a junior, we had a goalie last year that was a sophomore that beat him out and only probably played 3, 4 games. So over the last, 2 years, he's maybe played 15 total games. And so, the first 3, 4 games, Noah was little. I let in a goal here or a goal there that we didn't like. But since then, he's been rock solid for us, and he's a competitor. And I think he just had to get in that rhythm and has been real solid for us.
I have to ask you this. Last night, Davies had, I don't want to say a cakewalk against the Mustangs, but a little bit easier of a time. Would you prefer a game like that last night that Davies had, or the game that you had last night where everyone seemed engaged and a little bit more of a grudge match against a tough South team?
Yeah, I mean, that's a really good question. Obviously you can look at it both ways. I like the fact that, over the last, Monday we had a dogfight against North to even make the tournament and went to double overtime. We had a good test against Legacy and then a dogfight again last night. So I think we're battle tested and ready to go. I don't know if you can say one way or the other is better, but I like the spot where we're in right now.
You've got some special players here, and my goodness, I've got the task of trying to come up with an all-tournament team out of this group. And you look at the guys that are in this tournament this year, it's almost impossible. Can you just go through this roster a little bit and touch on some of these guys that have been special for you? There's some guys putting up some mad numbers here this year and some real special players for you if you want to just talk on your team for a moment.
Yeah, you know what, obviously up front starts with Carter Spruill. He's 6'2", big body, real skilled, hard shot, tough to knock off the puck. Ever since he's been a squirt and a peewee, he's been probably one of the best kids I've seen that can use his body and position that puck to where it's tough to get it from. He's a special player. Mikey Coleman's got a real good offensive knack. I mean, he's just so creative and can just jump by guys and has a little burst, does a lot of good things offensively there. And then, we just got good depth. Carson Scarprud broke his collarbone last Saturday against South, and he was our third leading scorer, so he's out. But we got good depth. Guys have stepped right in, and that's what's really made this team special.
I'm praying to God here tonight that the referees let this one get up and down. Do you expect a physical hockey game is kind of the question there?
I do. 100%. I think, watching them play Cheyenne last night, they were very physical. We've played them obviously a couple times this year, and it's been physical games. We don't mind it. I think it gets our guys into it too. So I think the biggest thing for us is you got to play on that edge, but you can't cross that edge, and can't cross that line and use your motions in the right way.
Coach, I sure appreciate your time. Best of luck here tonight, and good luck in the championship game.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. That's Tim Scarprud, the head coach of the Red River Rough Riders. When we come back, we'll talk to Nate Metcalf, the head coach of the Davies Eagles. State championship is on the line tonight from the Shields Arena.
Top Sub is with real red wine vinegar made from red grapes and no food coloring. And the right way to film it is in slow motion. Obviously. Because authentic ingredients make a sub above.
Shields pregame show for the state championship matchup tonight with the Davies Eagles and Red River Rough Riders. Time now for our Tires Plus Coach's Corner. We're joined by Nate Metcalf here in year number 3 for the Davies Eagles. First of all, Coach, how are you feeling tonight? Do you have any nerves coming into this state championship matchup tonight?
Nerves, not so much. I've been through it as a player before, so it's fun and exciting. Just can't wait for the girls' game to be over so we can get started.
You guys have had one heck of a season, 23-3 overall on the year, 15-1 inside the conference. I mean, anything less than a state championship here tonight obviously would be a real disappointing end to this season. How much emphasis are you putting on a full 51 minutes and a hard forechecking game here tonight?
Yeah, it's that's the style of game we play is full 51 up and down the ice and hopefully outwork Red River and stay out of the box.
Is there an advantage that you have on the Riders anywhere across the board? To me, this looks like it should be just a straight old-fashioned gunslinger fight here tonight.
No, I think we match up on paper really well. Got some big guys that can score, got some good role guys on both teams, and both goaltenders are solid.
This rivalry with the Riders, and everybody's got one with them with the 18 state championships they have. Is there any confidence factors in that, knowing that this program across the rink here tonight has that many state championships and that pedigree coming in? Do you factor that in at all tonight?
No, I think the past is a past. We just got to look forward, look to the future, and hopefully tonight we can start a new tradition at Fargo Davies.
Trent Wimcombe's been fantastic for you on the season. He's going to go down in the record books as one of the greats ever for Fargo here tonight. What is this kid like? Obviously, his leadership role and how vocal he is back there is something you don't often see. Do you like that from your goaltender back there?
I do. It's like having another a third defenseman out there controlling the play. Almost like a quarterback in football. It helps with the D-men. If they're looking one way and they're not seeing something, they can always hear them in the background. So,
final thing for you tonight. I have the opportunity to pick the all-state team and all-tournament team. How in the world, with a lineup like this, just for your team alone, do you pick those guys? You guys have so much depth. You want to just touch on this whole team as a crew, no matter what happens here tonight. You have a lot to be proud of with this whole group of guys. It's really done fantastic things for you this year.
Yeah, it's starting with our seniors. Basically our top four or five forwards are seniors. They've just been tremendous all year long. Day in, day out, putting in the effort. We're starting to get some bounces, so hopefully that roll's going through. Trent in the back is fantastic. Hunter Demers, Easton Rarick on the back end just control the play, and they're just always steady. So, it'd be whoever's voting. It should be interesting. All those guys on our team. Red River has a bunch, South has a bunch, so it's good luck voting.
What does the state championship mean to you and this program?
I think it'd be huge. Just starting with youth hockey in Fargo, starting to get a little bit of respect, and hopefully rolling it with, North has won before, South has won a while ago. It'd be nice for Davies to put their name on it.
I sure appreciate all your time this year. Great job across the board, man. Fantastic run. Best of luck here tonight. Man, I'm hoping for a dogfight, and best of luck.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
That's Nate Metcalf, the head coach of the Fargo Davies Eagles. Sure appreciate his time here tonight on our pregame show as we get geared and loaded for the state title matchup. The Riders and the Eagles play on the PSP Network for a state championship.
Where this goes?
I don't know.
Are you sure it was a clicking and not a zoo?
I think your quash litter valve's stuck.
Do you even have insurance?
If we soak it, it should be good.
No matter how much you know or don't know about your vehicle, trust the experts at Tires Plus. Real answers from real mechanics.
Inspections are free to ensure your vehicle is always in peak condition.
Thinking service? Think Tires Plus.
Carson, timeout.
Who calls a timeout in this game?
Me, I'm icing the kicker.
Really?
It'll give us more time to talk about First Western Bank and Trust,
Like our convenient online banking.
along with smart trust service options.
We're all about hometown service with bankers that know you and the community.
Okay, go ahead and kick.
I don't believe this.
First Western Bank and Trust. You can bank on us.
The right way to top a sub is with real red wine vinegar made from red grapes and no food coloring. And the right way to film it is in slow motion. Obviously. Because authentic ingredients make a sub above.
This place is at volume as the official introductions take place for the Riders and the Eagles in the state championship for North Dakota boys high school hockey tonight. Welcome back into our Shields pregame show. Shields brings you the pregame of this showdown and all of our competition on the PSP Network. Alongside of Dave Wilson, I'm Nick Hulberg. Dave, there was a slight delay tonight, and by a slight delay, we're talking about almost an hour and a half of when this puck drop was supposed to take place here tonight. A big factor in your mind for these teams here tonight?
No, I think by now these teams have their, how to get into their, different warm-ups and things like that. And with the girls' game being before, they knew there was going to be a little bit of a delay. And these kids are around each other so much. throughout the year. That you know, killing time is a thing that a hockey team should have an easy time doing. Maybe it's a little bit different because we're in a state championship game type situation, and maybe we have a little bit of nerves. But at the same time, these are 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old kids, and you know, they know how to spend time with each other and joke around and goof and make it look like they're not nervous, and they've got it all under control.
Red River's got the typical bleach blonde hair, the tradition that goes way back since we can remember. 18 state championships. They look for number 19. Davies by no means is clean cut. We've got plenty of hockey here in this state championship tonight for North Dakota high school hockey. Let's take a dive into the goaltenders here tonight, brought to you by Jersey Mike Subs. They're a sub above, and two kids tonight that are going to need to be above everybody else in this showdown with abilities and focus, and it's Trent Weinkup, the goaltender here for Davies. 1.35 goals against average and a 93% save percentage. He takes on Noah Berger tonight from Red River. A 1.78 goals against average and a 90.6% save percentage. Those two kids are going to need to be stellar in this showdown tonight. Got our national anthem coming in a moment, but does one of those kids have an advantage over the other here tonight? They've both just been so stellar.
Yeah, no, really a toss-up. I mean, the only advantage I could say is Wimcombe's playing in his home rink, in his home locker room, so maybe things a little bit more normal for him. But you know, Berger's had a really good tournament too, and just looks completely under control. And as Tim Scarperud, you know, as Tim Scarperud said in the, you know, his little pregame interview, you know, the kid's kind of had an interesting career, but you know, just to step in as a senior and just like Red River didn't drop off in the goaltending department. So all credit for him for putting the past couple years to the side and stepping in and, you know, being ready to go.
Well, I fooled you. No national anthem tonight. We already had it with the girls matchup tonight, so we're just going to get set and ready for the showdown here tonight to the PSP Network. It's the state championship for North Dakota boys high school hockey. You couldn't ask for a better one here tonight, as this will be a dogfight. The Riders, the Eagles. Third matchup of the year, and it's the rubber matchup tonight because they split on the season, winning in each other's home barns. Davies Eagles rally around their goaltender. The Riders are down in the far corner, gathering around their goaltender there, but the conversation happens over at the goal line of the far side wall. The Davies conversation happened right on top of the Davies net. How about this atmosphere in here tonight, Dave? This is electric, isn't it?
Absolutely, and it just kind of grew through the end of that girls game. You could see more people came, and the Davies student section's been here for about 4.5 hours from the start of the girls game, and they're rolling. The Red River students are in all black. I mean, it's a really nice atmosphere for high school hockey in North Dakota.
Red River's going to travel from the left to the right for the first to the third. Right to the left for the first to the third for the Davies Eagles. This place is at volume right now. They've done a fantastic job all weekend long. Starting on Thursday at noon with the opening game of the high school hockey tournament. What did Red River have to do to get here? Well, they had to take down Bismarck Legacy by a score of 6-0. Then they had to go through Fargo South Shanley, who took down a championship in the EDC Championship Game. They were the number 1 seed. Red River beat them 3-1. Davies went through Minot, winning 3-1 on the opening day, and then they shut out Cheyenne last night 6-0. We've got two good hockey teams on the ice, the best that remain in the state of North Dakota, and we are underway for the state championship 2022. Welcome into our broadcast here tonight, Nick Hulberg and Dave Wilson. Gameplay time. Intensity's high, and you got to love that for these high school hockey matchups. We're underway as the puck is taken here by the Riders back in their own territory, trying to move ahead. Comes into the center slot. It's going to be picked up here by Red River and moved back ahead forward by Ethan Doctor up to center with a backhand. Spun down to the corner off of Riley Vetch down in behind the net of Wimkin. Comes back away now for the Eagles. They're going to push up to center. The dump and chase is on as the Riders are back in their own territory to retrieve the puck, where it's taken away there by Freegee. Out to center ice. Here comes Red River to the offensive zone. 3-on-3. Bouncing puck is going to be sent forward ahead to Cam Bollinger, two-time All-EDC selection. Couldn't keep a handle on it. The Riders got it back and they dumped it in. Davies in their defensive zone on the near side wing, trying to clear and work it back up to the neutral ice area. They're going to move it ahead forward, but it goes off of a Riders' stick, and the Riders have it back at center where they dump it right back down. 15:48 to play in the opening period. Nobody on the board yet as the puck is going to be taken and worked into the offensive zone here from Davies, and Fryer goes down to the far side boards. Tried to bring it down to the corner, but the Big Red Machine defense was there. The puck's going to come back out to neutral, right back in with it. Here comes Davies, forward it comes for Matter, and he's going to take it far circle on the glove side of Berger. He's tattooed over there on the far side wing. Comes back to the point. Here's a drive. First one came in wide for Yeager. Neither team registering a shot yet in this contest. Here's one that comes from the point but wide. That was Rarick that sent it in. Puck's going to be worked back up to the far sideline. Eagles have possession. They drop it down underneath the net where it's going to be worked on here by Red River. Hello, there's the biggest hit we've seen so far in the title game. And on the wrong side of that one was Grant Gardner that got his bell rung just a bit. Puck goes all the way down into the Davies end and then right back up to center as they carry forward. Ahead it comes for Demers. He fired it towards the net, went wide. Puck's going to be taken down by Grand Forks Red River. They go back up to center with it, but it's going to be taken away here by Davies. They're going to move it back ahead there from Archbold. He's going to send it back in behind Berger. We've got our first icing of the hockey game. 14:40 to play in the opening period. First International Bank and Trust scoreboard scoreless.
Well, Nick, everything you want for a high school hockey state championship. I think you'd agree the pace for those first couple shifts has been fantastic. A little bit of a feeling out process. Davies gotten all three lines out there. Red River's got their third line out there right now. So, rolling lines and a little bit different, getting the puck deep in different ways. So, like I said, really good pace to start this one.
Puck is going to be taken by the Eagles on the far side wall. There was a collision that freed the puck over on the far side wing. Riders got it back and dumped it back into the offensive corner. On the glove side of Wimpkin, comes back all the way back up to the point. Red River fires in. That shot came from the point from Eichmann. Goes back away from the Eagles, back out to center ice where it's picked up by the Riders, and they're just going to fling it right back down for Mason Strome. You look at this lineup for Red River, there's so many kids in the showdown here tonight that are deserving of credit. They are so well-rounded. That shot comes in on Wimpkin. He's going to make the stop. He'll hang on to it. That's his third shot on goal, and he stopped all three of them. But really, the talent of Red River's defensive side of the ice has been really what's impressed me so far in the tournament. They just seem so solid on the back end.
Absolutely, and just hard work and sticks in lanes and things like that. And they love to get their defensemen involved in moving the puck, the puck up the ice here. It seems like every single time they have a rush, the defensemen's coming up on the ice of the trailer. And, when you do hem them in a little bit, they collapse so well in front of their net. And, it's one of those things that doesn't get talked about enough about what they do well is, blocking shots and playing defense. And it starts there. Any coach will tell you, Tim Scarborough will say, it starts from our defensive end and works its way to the offensive zone. And they just do it so well.
Face-off was out in the neutralized territory. Puck was picked up here by Red River. They regroup back in their own end. It's going to be taken. Delayed call coming. Dan Emery's got the arm up. Red River's goaltender's off. Delayed call coming here. Loose in front to the Davies net. Dropped down to the corner. It's taken there. Wyatt Leduc touched it. But there's going to be a stop in the play as Davies touches up on the delayed call. And Dan Emery's got a roughing on the ice surface. And Red River's got their first power play of the game.
Yeah, maybe a little bit overzealous play there by Easton Rarick. A kid that loves to throw his body around. And, as a coach, I'm happy to see my best defenseman step up and try to play physical here early in the game. Maybe got a little bit overzealous there and rightfully got a roughing call on a hit there that could have been worse in some different scenarios.
Puck's handled here by Davies. They're going to fire it out to center as it was launched to the neutral ice zone by Cam Bollinger. Up to center ice. Red River's going to carry back into offensive territory as they work it back from in behind the net from Mason Reynolds over to the far point. On the wall, it's going to be shuffled down to the corner. The Riders go in after it. On the blocker side of Wimpkin, back up to the point. It's going to be worked across the line. Here's a drive coming. Sent in from the point. Wyatt Leduc fired on. The stop was made from the Davies netminder.
And that's a stop that Wimpkin's going to make 20 times out of 20 times. Leduc had a great goal yesterday in the semifinal win over South Shanley, but the defensive core there did a great job. Demers and Bullinger out there making sure that their goaltender can see the puck, and they're perfectly fine with that shot from Leduc there because Wimpkin's going to stop that every time.
Let's Go Riders is the chant. They've got a giant student section here tonight. They're dressed in all black here this evening. Davies has a pretty good student section here as well on their home ice surface tonight at the Shields Arena. Puck's up at the point. Down to the near side half wall. Shuffled down to the corner. Goes back in behind the net to Wimkin. Goes away to the far side wing. Pinching down and holding the zone are the Riders. They send it out front. One-time attempt on the doorstep. Wyatt Leduc couldn't quite get a handle on it. We go back the other way where it's taken out by Ashton Yeager. Yeager's going to crash right in. Berger makes the stop. Little aggressive play coming down towards the goal. And Yeager gave the glove hand a little bit of a tap. Davies crashing hard here on the penalty kill. Rider defense didn't like that too much, did they?
No, little love tapping. You're going to see that. You know, these kids have played each other, you know, for years and years. You know, there's 70 miles between Fargo and Grand Forks, PUEs, Bantams, junior varsity. So these kids know each other really, really well, and that's just a kind of a how do you do there to play. You know, nothing serious. The refs aren't going to call that, and they just get on with the game. But you know, kind of set a little bit of a presence there, as you could say.
Welcome to the state championship night. Could have just sent it to him on Instagram, but instead he sends it with the Bauer stick right on top of the fingers. Puck comes back away up to center ice for the Riders. They push all the way out and down. Comes back into Davies territory, and it's big Jack Bollinger that fires that one up to center. Bollinger's a player that certainly has the caliber and the skill to be a next-level guy. He's definitely got the size. He's big back there. Puck's taken by Cam Bollinger up to center ice, but it's the Eagles at center that are going to take it and dump it all the way down and behind Berger. We're down to 11:56 to play in the opening period. 16 seconds remains in the first power play of the night. And it's Red River with the man advantage and the puck as they bring it in on Wimkin. He drops it down after he gloved it. Into the corner it came, high up off the glass. And the Davies Eagles fired all the way down again. It's been a fantastic penalty kill from them here at the state tournament. We talk about Red River's defensive side, but Fargo Davies is right there as well. There's no question about that. Here come the Riders back into the offensive zone, back over to the far side wing. Eagles have possession again. They go up to center here with Drew Rarick. He's one of those guys. You got Rarick and Bollinger back there. I mean, Davies, if you had to go toe-to-toe here tonight, I don't know, you could probably flip a coin on who's got a better defensive pairing on the top end, or even 1 through 3 on the defensive sides. Puck's at center. Riders and Eagles scrum forward here at the neutral ice zone. It's going to be worked back into the offensive territory for Davies now as it's pushed out in front of the Rider net, but the Riders have possession. They go up to center with Grant Gardner. It's fired all the way down. We've got an icing with under 10 minutes and 53 seconds to play here in the first period. It's a scoreless hockey game.
And you know, that penalty kill, I thought Coach Metcalf made a really good point in his pregame interview about Wimkin being back there and, you know, really being a third defenseman and a vocal leader. And he did a fantastic job with that penalty kill. And maybe an adjustment that Red River's going to have to make is when we're sending the puck into the zone, we've got to keep it away from Wimkin because he does a great job of setting it up for his defenseman and really setting up easy clears and easy outlets for those guys. And, you know, as a defenseman, you will take that all day long, not having to get hit and making an easy outlet out of the zone and getting your team out of danger.
Eagles have the puck. They're out to center with it. They cross over into the offensive zone. Windjam's going to carry down. He goes away to the near side corner. Lost an edge there. It's picked up by the Riders. They just push it right back out to center. It's taken at center ice and dumped right back in off of Rarick. And back on the retrieve here back in his own territory. And hitting the brakes going back to the far side. The puck is going to be picked up for Mason Stroh. Stroh goes up the far side wall, trying to bump it out of there for Dylan Jackson. Comes back away at the blue line, and the Riders are all right here with just dumping this one all the way down the length of the ice with 10:06 to play in the opening period. Nobody on the first International Bank and Trust scoreboard just yet. Time flies, really, Dave, when you look at it. And one of the ways that you really, as we get older, that you start to see time flying is some of these memories and some of the state championships and things that happen along the way. Talk about Mountain High's title in '92. That was 30 years ago. You fast forward to 10 years after that to last year would have been the 20-year reunion of Red River taking down Fargo North at the old Ralph Engelstedt Arena. Aaron Walski came up with 72 stops that night for Fargo North in a losing effort against the Red River Rough Riders. He's going to be on our intermission show tonight. We'll talk to the gentleman from North that ended up in Sports Illustrated after his stellar performance and maybe the best ever at the state high school hockey tournament.
And then I was in the Ralph Engelstedt Arena the old Ralph Engelstedt Arena, I should say, for that hockey game. And that was actually the last high school hockey game ever played in the old Ralph Engelstead Arena. And, you know, I remember hearing a lot that week, and just like Ralph just didn't want to let the game end. It just kept going and going and going, and he just kept making save after save after save. So I'm actually really anxious to meet him and, you know, shake his hand and maybe share a goaltender story or two.
It's going to be a lot of fun. He'll be on at our first intermission report. That comes up here at 9 minutes and 23 seconds of game time. We got a stop on the ice surface after an icing on Red River. There's a media timeout here at the Shields Arena. We're going to take a step aside as well and come back with the remaining 9:23 of the opening period. It's scoreless here on the First International Bank and Trust scoreboard. It's the state championship here on the PSP Network.
Right way to top a sub is with real red wine vinegar made from red grapes and no food coloring. And the right way to film it is in slow motion. Obviously. Because authentic ingredients make a sub above.
While the wave is officially on inside of Shields Arena here tonight, gotta love the atmosphere in this place for the State High School Hockey Championship 2022. Alongside of Dave Wilson, I'm Nick Hulberg. Thanks for joining us tonight here on the PSP Network. Dave, we're halfway through the first period, just about. Your thoughts so far on this championship hockey game?
Well, I got to give all the credit to the kids, Nick. I mean, I've got jitters sitting up here in the press box with you watching this, and these kids have handled this really, really well. It's a great pace, not a lot of mistakes out there, and kids playing hockey the right way. It's meant to be played north and south.
Puck's going to be taken back north now by the Davies Eagles on the near side wing, but it's held up there right at the red line. And the puck's going to come back away down to the Riders, where Wyatt Leduc moves it ahead forward into the offensive zone. Top of the circle back in Davies territory. Comes away off the near side wall from the Eagles. Back up to center, and it's going to be chipped right back in from Leduc. An all EDC player, Wyatt Leduc, 22 points for the senior D-man on the season. Up to center we go the other way down for the Davies Eagles. And Toby Fryer moves it down into the offensive territory, worked it underneath the goal line where it came to matter and tried to fire a shot on Davies. Holds the line on the clear attempt. Puck came in, went just wide, and it's going to be sent back away to the near side wing. Offensive zone for Davies, but the puck's pushed out to center by the Riders. Goes off of Mason Reynolds up to center and then down into Davies territory. Some real estate gained here by Easton Rarick, and Rarick carries it ahead forward. Here's Baron Stibbe into the zone. He's met with a howdy-do from the elbow there of Reynolds on the far side winger. That was Mason Stroh, rather. And the puck's taken back by the Eagles again, where they've got some pressure underneath the Rider net, trying to throw it out in front. Unable to do so. There was Widgham. And it's going to be pushed right back up to center ice, where it's dumped right back in from Davies. I don't think we've seen a pace this quick yet in the state high school hockey tournament.
No, and like you said, it's north and south. It's get up the ice with the puck, or you're going to be left behind right there. Maybe thought we might have had a trip there, but the refs let her go.
Beadall brought it into the offensive zone, headed out in the center slot, but Stibbe took it from him, and he goes back the other way now. This is like a pond hockey game. Brought it in over the line, offsides. The Eagles here with 7 minutes and 30 seconds. Make it 40 seconds remaining in the opening period. Nobody's on the board yet, but we have had some chances in this one. 7 total shots on goal, but defensively, everybody's been pretty sharp here tonight.
Yeah, and absolutely. And if you're Nate Metcalf and the Davies Eagles, his third line just had a really good shift against Red River's second line. We talk about the matchups, and if his third line's going, maybe it's time to see if that fourth line's going too. And, the more legs you have once we get into the second and the third period, the better off you're going to be in a hockey game like this with such great pace.
Danko Fritz came in, far side, top of the circle, fired one wide. Puck was taken by the Riders. They go back out to center, into the offensive zone. They bring it down, and it goes away down for Carter Sproul, but we're going to have ourselves a call here on the offsides. Dan Emery's in charge here tonight. Mention the other official here tonight, Michael Holm. You've got Dennis Badeau, and the young man, Odin Nelson. His dad was an NHL official for many, many years. Odin from Minot, North Dakota. He's just a youngster following in his dad's footsteps. His dad actually was chosen to ref the 1996 Winter Olympics. Pretty fantastic stuff. Into the offensive zone come the Riders. The puck's taken by Davies. They push back up to center as they carry ahead forward into the zone. Comes Cam Bollinger, made a move, sent it out front. Danko Fritz had it on the back doorstep, just couldn't wrangle it in. And the puck's taken back away now by Red River. They'll dump it down and chase it in. Widgham's under the net. White comes out of the net to play it. Push back ahead, forward up to center, and then back into Rider territory. Comes down all the way over the end line. We've got ourselves an icing here with 6 minutes, 38 seconds to play in our opening period tonight. Scoreless on the First International Bank and Trust scoreboard.
And a 2-on-1 break there for Davies, and just a real nice and calm, collected play by Friege, the defenseman for Red River. Just just stayed relaxed, stayed calm, stick in the lane. The puck's bouncing, and he did a great job really thwarting that chance for the Eagles.
Puck's taken by Davies off the draw in their defensive territory. It's the Riders with some pressure. However, they're going to try to hold it at the top of the circle, but now it's going to be flipped out to center. Hayes has it here. He goes across the zone at neutral ice where Fryer dumped it down. Riders are chasing after it in their own territory. 2-for-2 scrum evolves there. Fryer's out with it. Spins it back underneath the goal line, but it's taken by the Riders, and the Riders on the near wing go up off the glass and trying to clear the zone. We're down to 6 minutes and 7 seconds to play in the first period. Scoreless on the First International Bank and Trust scoreboard tonight as the Eagles push it back into Rider territory. But it's Red River with possession of the puck. They go back up to center with it. They dump it ahead forward, and on the retrieve now is Easton Rarick, and Rarick's going to take it here and work it back to center. Now Baron Stibbe's in after it. Stibbe's going to skate it down. He'll turn and fire. Oh, that shot came in. That went far side, and Berger went down and made a stick save. Puck came out of the zone now. As Red River's got it again here, they're going to cross over center ice with it and dump it down into the offensive territory. Where in after it is big Jack Bollinger. Bollinger went to the far side wall. Up to Archbold. Tried to clear it out to center. He does. But it bounces back into Rider possession on the near wing in their defensive territory. Into the circle. It comes out to the center slot. Cam Bollinger causing trouble here for Davies. He gets the puck out in front and fires that one out in front of the Rider net. Cam Bollinger's got it back up top now, where he worked it back up to Jack Bollinger. Take it here off the wall and sent all the way down the length of the ice it comes. Not going to make the end line for icing, but it would have been a nice curling shot as that one just rolled and almost stopped right on the end line. Puck's taken here by Davies now. They move it across the neutral ice zone, but it's taken by the Riders. They move it back up through center ice. This is a good teeter-totter match so far. The shots are 6-2. They favor Red River right now, but nobody's been on the scoreboard yet. Up and down the ice surface we go, and we go back in for Kenkel Fritz here for Davies. He fired one up and wide on the blocker's side. Puck's going to be taken back away here by Davies. They flip it up into the Rider bench and a stop of the play with 4 minutes and 29 seconds remaining in our opening period. Scoreless hockey game.
Well, we head into a TV timeout here, Nick, and one thing as a former coach that spent a lot of time coaching defensemen that I can really appreciate is quality gap control. And what I mean by that is basically your blast line of defense, basically the amount of space that you give kind of the forwards coming at you between, your blue line and your red line and your goal line. And, both defensemen, they're just a great shift by both defensemen with, there is a little bit of space that opens up for the Davies Eagles, and the Red River defensemen are playing the red line almost like they're playing their blue line. The Red River turns it up the other way, and there's Rarick and the Davies Eagles defenseman right up on that blue line, making it really tough, trying to force them to dump the puck in, and that's really not what these teams want to do. They want to carry the puck in with speed, because if you dump it in the zone, then you got to go get it from these defensemen that are really, really good at picking their heads up and making outlet passes out of the zone. So defensively, excellent work by both teams here. And like I said, as a former defensive coach, you can't teach it better than the way that Rarick and Leduc are doing it for their teams, and Bollinger and Friege and Ray. I mean, really, really solid defensemen in this hockey game.
Face-off will come at neutral ice right in front of the Red River bench, and it's going to be won by the Riders. Off the draw, they move it ahead forward into the offensive territory. Red River's going to carry down out in front now. Here's a backhanded shot, save, rebound. Whitcomb goes down. He makes the save, and on the doorstep, knocking was Mikey Colvin. Whitcomb says, I don't think so. This atmosphere here is good tonight. Guns N' Roses is blaring down. Whoever's been DJing has done a pretty darn good job setting the tempo.
Absolutely. I'd still like to see a pep band, though. I'm a little old school on that. I would have enjoyed the Cheyenne Mustangs getting the pep band here for this one. Would have been nice.
Remember in the old school days at the old Ralph Engelstedt Arena where Red River's band would come in, they would have their faces painted and red and black outfits, didn't matter what it was. You could come up with whatever you had at home, almost like a Halloween costume, and that band would come in with the drum liners. Basically, the drum line is what it was, coming through the old Ralph Engelstad Arena. You could hear them all the way down at the Red Pepper, 5 blocks away. 3 minutes, 44 seconds to play in the opening period. Red River's back in their own defensive territory with the puck, trying to bring it onto their own end. Leduc ahead forward. Puck's going to be pushed ahead forward into the offensive territory now by the Riders. Here comes a shot on goal, and Mason Reynolds sails it in. But another nice stop comes there from Wimkin. He goes down and hangs on to that shot. His 8th save so far in the hockey game.
Right, and he'll once again he'll take that every single time. Great gap control there, and it's getting to the point with these forwards. They know that space is limited, so it might be a low percentage shot, but it's the Wayne Gretzky. You miss all the shots you don't take, so you might as well throw something on net and try to create a chance, create a rebound, something where you can get some offense going.
Riders have the puck in the offensive zone. Here's the drive that came from the line. Puck's underneath the goal line now. It's trying to be worked out front here by the Riders, but it's Bollinger up to center, off to Kenkel. Fritz into the offensive zone. It comes for Lorenz, and offsides. Charged here with 3:13 to play in the opening period. Davies was just a step in ahead of the play. Gotta love Shields Arena. They added a gigantic video board right at center ice. It's got 4 giant screens. It's like a cube right at center. Man, that took this place to a whole new level, didn't it?
Absolutely, and I actually coached in here the first year the Shields Arena opened, and just how this place has evolved is just a great place for a hockey game.
Home to the Fargo Force of the United States Hockey League. Clark Cup champions back in 2017 and 2018. Into the offensive zone it comes now. Riders have possession down and deep. It's Doctor that sends it down up to the point. Here's a wrister. That one sent in but wide. Eichmann fired it towards the net. Riders have possession. Beadall out in the circle. He's going to turn and fire. Sends it upstairs but wide. Underneath the net, he scrubs forth, the sophomore. In after it now is Cam Bollinger. He freed it over on the far side wing on a tee. Sent in. Oh, that was a booming howitzer from the line. Mason Stroh put some steam on it. Whitkin came up with the glove save.
And we talked about matchups, Nick. That was a great shift for Red River's third line against Davies' second line, which has been going pretty well. So we can see from the start here that both teams have 3 lines rolling. I haven't seen the 4th line yet for either unit, but 1 through 3 from both teams have had really good shift cycling the puck and possession in the offensive end at this point.
So many things in the sport of hockey that you don't always see. They're the coaching strategies and the grudge match that is more like a chess match here tonight between Tim Scarperud and his second year as Red River's head coach, Nate Metcalf in his 3rd year as the head coach of the Davies Eagles. We've got to stop in the play. You mentioned earlier on tonight, 2:13, by the way, left here in the opening period. Nobody on the board yet. If you're watching on the TV broadcast, you get a good look at Tim Scarperud there. You mentioned that he's been with this group of kids all the way from the time they were little. You want to touch on that a little bit?
Yeah, well, I did some officiating when I used to live in Williston, and I ref some games in the youth program, and I did a Pee-wee A game, and being a fellow fighting Surub like yourself, Nick, I see Tim Scarperud on the bench for the Grand Forks Pee-wee A team, and well, no kidding, and he's got a kid, Carson, that his son that's unfortunately hurt in this tournament, but he coached their Pee-wee team, coached the Bantam AA team, the Aviator, so he's been around these kids, and what better role model and guy to have as your coach for your kids in the Grand Forks system coming up than a guy who played college hockey, won some national championships.
Puck's taken here by the Davies Eagles. They bring it into the offensive zone. It goes over to the far sideline where Rarick's going to have a handle on it. He's going to dump it back in behind the net where it's taken here by the Riders and off to the near side wing, trying to poke it free ahead. Was Red River. They did. They got it out to center. Tim, before the hockey game tonight, when I had the conversation with him in the Tires Plus coach's corner, he was definitely amped up and ready for this one. Here comes a shot on goal. That one in from Archbold. The stop was made for Berger. Puck's underneath the net now here. Davies is going to move it out front. We're going to have a stop coming, and a tripping will be charged here with 1:08 to play in this opening period. Red River's got 1 power play on the board here tonight, and now Davies is going to get their first chance of special teams activity on the positive side.
And just a play there where Freege just maybe got a little bit loose with his stick. Bullinger's trying to get by and, work the puck. His stick gets caught between his legs and he falls. And Davies has got 1:09 here, or 1:08, I should say, to try to get something done on the power play.
Cooper Freege into the sin bin. Shots are now 9-3 favoring Red River. Dave, I think you called him it best, the Big Red Machine. Can they put up a big red wall here? There's a stop for Berger on the shot that came from Cam Bullinger. Comes back away down to Stibbe. He's going to walk into the lane. He fired that one, knocked down. Defense cleared it out and sent it to the other end of the ice as Ethan Doctor sent it all the way down into Davies territory. Bullinger again with the puck, goes back over to Stibbe. These two can wheel and deal. They go up to center now as Barron Stibbe's in, dropped it off. Cam Bullinger sent it in. Glove save into the glove of Berger. And he comes up with his 4th save of the hockey game as he settles in here with 36.9 seconds remaining in our opening period scoreless hockey game.
Yeah, just a real, on top of his crease there, just a nice, confident save. And, Bullinger's got a great release on that wrist shot, and Berger just stepped out and caught the puck like a walk in the park. So credit for him to really settling into this hockey game as well.
Puck over on the far side, top of the circle. Stibbe walked in, fired, knocked down. Loose in the center slot. Picked up here by the Riders. Oh, big collision up at the blue line. Getting together with Rarick. Trying to move the puck out of the Rider end. I believe that was Grandstand that got into him. They got together on the big stop here coming. Now Berger's down onto the pillows. He'll make the save. The whistle is blown. This one's got a little bit of everything early on in this one. How about the hit coming there as Grandstand tried to leave the zone, and standing him up at the blue line was Easton Rarick. The big man of the seniors says not so fast.
Well, and honestly, Nick, I'm not sure who got the worst of that one, because Grandstand had the puck and Rarick is just picks all of his spots just to step up and play physical there. And I mean, I would say Rarick maybe got the worst of that one, but you know what? It just shows how strong a kid like Grandstand is on the puck. With you have an EDC All-State defenseman stepping up in there, and the puck's on Grandstand's stick. And like I said, I think that Rarick may have got the worst of that one. They both ended up a little bit shaken after that hit, but that's just good big boy hockey right there in the state championship game.
Got to say this. Do a full season of Minot High Magicians hockey over in the west side of North Dakota with Matt Morelli, the former University of North Dakota Fighting Sioux, former Minot High Magician, great. And Matt always says that a lot of times in games, just to get engaged, either give a hit or get a hit, take a hit. And that's just what the doctor ordered there for both of those players with 13.7 seconds remaining in this opening period. They're already about a period into it, but never hurts maybe to stay engaged in that situation. Puck's going to be handled here down in the corner by Red Rivers. They try to clear their own end. Kids cut them down around 4 seconds. Down 3, down 2. Puck's in for the Riders. Slap shot coming. Whistled one wide at the horn, and we are through. 1 period of play as the chance at the end for Carter Spruill was there, but he sent it down and wide. Scoreless on the First International Bank and Trust scoreboard after 1 period here tonight from the Shields Arena in Fargo, North Dakota. Coming up, our Legacy Financial Partners intermission report that's brought to you by our friends at Premier Chiropractic, ND.com as well. Before we go there, Dave, I'd like to hear your thoughts on that opening period of play. This is a good up and down matchup.
Absolutely, and we've talked about it. You worry about nerves in a game like this, and you worry about kids holding the stick a little bit tight. And I thought that was a really well played period for either team. If you're Nate Metcalf, you'll take that period every day. And the same can be said for Tim Scarper. There wasn't really a kid or a line that stuck out for either team. The defensemen are stepping up, and it's a good skating hockey game the way a state championship game should be played.
Up and down we go. Any real advantage or any major correction that needs to be made here by either coach in the room at the end of one, you think?
No, I mean a big opportunity here for Davies coming out on some fresh ice. To start that power play. They'll throw Bullinger and Stibbe together right away and try to get something going on Red River. But no, I don't see a lot of changes there. I guess I'm not down on the bench. I'm up in the broadcast booth for a reason. But yeah, I don't really see a ton of changes there. Just guys keep going, keep rolling lines, and play as many kids as we can play. And it seems like both teams have got all their kids going. They need to be going.
This is a fun one so far. Anytime you're scoreless at the end of one of the state title game, you're in store for at least 34 more minutes that should be pretty doggone intense. That's what we expect coming up. Legacy Financial Partners and Premier Chiropractic intermission report is due up. We're going to talk to Ryan Cunningham, the voice of the Red River Rough Riders and Grand Forks Central Knights, the voice of East Region hockey, if you will. We'll hear his thoughts at the end of 1 period of play on the state of high school hockey and some corrections maybe that need to be made to league structure. Teams that get into the tournament, controversial topics coming up. Not here to talk politics, but we certainly like to talk about the topics that are hot in the hockey world, and that is one of them. We'll hear from Ryan Cunningham when we come back. Scoreless at the end of one period played in the state championship with Davies and Red River tonight here from the Shields Arena.
Carson, timeout.
Who calls a timeout in this game?
Me, I'm icing the kicker.
Really?
It'll give us more time to talk about First Western Bank and Trust.
Like our convenient online banking.
Along with smart trust service options.
We're all about hometown service with bankers that know you and the community.
Okay, go ahead and kick.
I don't believe this.
First Western Bank and Trust. You can bank on us.
The 30-inch Galactic Pizza is out of this world. There's nothing like it anywhere else in Minot. Too much to handle? Try one of our famous large specialty pizzas like the Blue Buffalo. Get the best pizza in Minot and play some laser tag. At Planet Pizza, South Broadway, Minot.
The magic of what we do really comes down to combining different aspects of patient care. Here at Premier Chiropractic, we love combining soft tissue work, the adjustment, and exercises together. We found that this gets the best results for our patients. We have 3 chiropractors to fit the needs of the entire family, a rehab area for our exercises and equipment for any athlete to improve performance. Give us a call and we will get you back to doing what you love.
North Dakota State High School Hockey Tournament to the state championship coverage here on the PSP Network. This is our Premier Chiropractic and Legacy Financial Partners Intermission Report. We're now joined by one of the great voices in North Dakota for broadcasting. It's Ryan Cunningham, the voice of hockey on the eastern side of the state. First of all, Ryan, love the outfit tonight. You're dressed to the nines. You look great. Are you ready for a little state championship hockey tonight?
Well, if we're not, it's going to happen irregardless, so we better get ready, right? It's a blackout for the Red River fans, and obviously trying to support the hometown team here, so we decided to go black. And I don't know, I pitched bow ties at it this year just on a whim to see, and they're self-tie, so I just want you to know these are not clip-ons. I had to learn how to do this. Took me an hour and 4 YouTube videos, but I think I've got something going, and so we'll see if we can pull it through for the Riders tonight.
It is ZZ Top, sharp dressed man written all over it. I love it, man. Nice work. I wanted to bring you on here tonight during the state championship and talk about a couple topics here that I find interesting in the world of high school hockey right now, and who better to talk to than a guy that talks about this stuff every single day yourself.
Thank you.
I wanted to talk to you mostly about the structure of high school hockey right now in North Dakota. Obviously a little bit of an issue with all East dominance here at the state tournament each and every year, it seems, and the West region playing for 5th, it seems, most years. And again, we're back to that same song and dance. In your mind, do you see an issue with North Dakota high school hockey right now and some of the parity across the state lines from east to the west side of the state of North Dakota?
I may or may not, which is kind of a milquetoast answer, but let me explain. You know, we tend to look at things in real time, and the last 3 years, all 4 state semifinalists have been from the East region, and people see an issue with that. And I watched the conversation happen on social media this week, and I made one posting where I said, I think we need to relax a little bit, because I'm old enough to remember Bismarck and Minot winning back-to-back state championships in 2014 and 2015. It does happen, you know, and that's something that we have to remember. There are some things that have happened in the West. We've had the split in Bismarck with Legacy coming in. They were here in the state tournament, but that takes time to adjust for. Obviously, West Fargo was a power before Cheyenne came in, and they're still working through that, so it happens. Minot's lost a lot of players to the juniors, and we know that. They had a team that was supposed to be loaded, and then some teams left, and that has an impact. And now Minot's going to split high schools, and obviously there will be some restructuring on that as well. So there's a lot of changes that are coming up in in hockey, but I don't know if I'm ready to throw the whole structure away yet just because these things are happening. Is it a blip in time or is it a trend? I think we need a little bit more information before we start making big changes.
My idea behind this, and not to get completely political here at the State High School Hockey Tournament, but my idea would be a two-tiered system or maybe a QRF, maybe like high school football uses, to ensure that guys like Friddle and Fargo North get to the big dance, to be able to have the opportunity to be on showcase there. Any of those ideas, do you like that idea? Do you hate that idea of a two-tiered system in North Dakota? Where's your stance on that?
Well, I ran it through earlier this morning talking with some colleagues in Fargo and said, okay, if we took the QRF and we brought those teams here, what would this look like? And if we just went with the straight QRF ratings that have been sent out by the NDAHA throughout the year, Minot doesn't make the state tournament. They end up in the number 9 spot, and if we take 8, we take 8. The only team that's here is Jamestown. And then we played through what would the seedings be. And so we kind of thought that at the end of the regular season with no regional tournaments, right, Davies would probably be the overall number 1 seed. Red River probably would have been the number 2. South Shanley would have been the number 3. And then 4, 5, and 6 would have been fought for most likely between Jamestown, Fargo North, and Grand Forks Central. And by the time you play that out to the semifinals, what's different? Davies' opponent, and that's it. And so in the long run, yeah, those teams get here, and if that's what we're concerned about, we should address it. But if we're concerned about the semifinals, which has been the talk, all the East teams are in the semis, I don't know that changes if you import the top 8 teams in North Dakota. So is there another way? 2 tiers, 2 classes. Does that keep more kids? That's my main concern if we're going to do anything. I don't like the kids from Minot and Bismarck heading off to the juniors because their West region can't give them competitive games. Let's fix that and see if that wouldn't fix the problem a bit more quickly.
You go back to the early 90s, and Jimmy Peluso, who's an icon for North Dakota high school hockey for the Bismarck Demons, is their head coach. His son Mike Peluso took over that program in the mid-2000s here, and I remember vividly Jimmy Peluso talking on statewide television during the state broadcast about a North and South division instead of an East versus West, and another interesting topic there. But at the end of the day, in my mind, I just look at this situation where it seems like our best players aren't sticking around for the competition and our best teams aren't the state tournament. So I certainly wanted to get your take on it as somebody that gets to cover the perennial powerhouses each and every year on the east side. So I sure appreciate your ride.
Not a problem. Thanks for having me.
It's a lot of fun talking to you. Final thing, let's go here real quick. Do you have a favorite in this one tonight? Red River and Davies. Obviously, you cover the Riders all year long, but this is a matchup that should be just a good old-fashioned gunfight tonight between the two.
Well, Trent Wimpkin's the difference maker, right? And it seems like he's poised, he's ready. He's been in these types of games for a couple of years now, and he's played for this moment. He's a senior. I was mentioning to my broadcast partner that when this game is over tonight, I might personally take him a parting gift just because we're happy to watch him go away because how good he's been throughout. He's the difference maker in this one, but Red River played much better the last 2 nights than they did in the last 2 weeks of the season. They're finding something right now. It's the start. It really is the start. When Red River hasn't been good, they haven't played well in the first 6 or 7 minutes. If they play well in the first 6 or 7 minutes, they'll be in it the whole way. If the start goes bad and they're chasing the scoreboard, it's going to be a long uphill fight for them.
I love listening to you all season long when Minot High or the West Region isn't in action or we don't have games on PSP Network. Please keep up the great work. Keep calling great games. We sure appreciate you for all you are.
Yeah, you too, Nick, and thanks for bringing me out to Minot to do that college game last year. I enjoyed it. You got a great arena out there. I love visiting. We'll talk again soon.
Appreciate you. That's Ryan Cunningham, the voice of the eastern side of North Dakota for high school hockey and the voice of the Riders and the Knights on KNOX Radio. When we come back to the state tournament broadcast presentation of the state championship, we will dive into the numbers of the period. It is North Dakota high school hockey and the state title game here on the PSP Network.
Where this goes? I don't know.
Are you sure it was a clicking and not a zoo?
I think your quash litter valve's stuck.
Do you even have insurance?
If we soak it, it should be good.
No matter how much you know or don't know about your vehicle, trust the experts at Tires Plus. Real answers from real mechanics.
Inspections are free to ensure your vehicle is always in peak condition.
Thinking service? Think Tires Plus.
Thanks for buying some prune.
Great smiles come from Vibetta Orthodontics. Vibetta Orthodontics is a certified Invisalign provider. Invisalign fits your budget and your lifestyle. Braces for children, teens, and adults with affordable monthly payments. Schedule your complimentary consultation and exam by logging on to VibettaOrthodontics.com or by calling 701-839-6010.
Great smiles come from Vibetta Orthodontics.
Showtime for the second frame from Shields Arena for the state championship here tonight as the puck is going to be sent in by the Red River Rough Riders to start things off here in our middle period, but it's Davies that's up to center. It's a scoreless hockey game on our first International Bank and Trust scoreboard as the power play remains out here for the Davies Eagles for the next 31 seconds. Into the offensive zone, it's going to come here for the Riders, but on the retrieve for Davies and pushing up to center and over the line, it's Rarick that dumps it all the way back into the offensive zone. It's going to come back up to the point, handled now by Cam Bullinger. Comes away to the near side wing, and it's going to be sent all the way back down to the half wall, where it's going to come back up to the point. Held in by Davies again. Puck's down to the corner. Worked back away here by Stibbe with it. Dropped it back to the top of the circle. Sent out in front for Stibbe. He's got it here in the center. Slot out of the backhand. Oh, big save. That one rattled the crossbar. The opportunity there from Cam Bullinger came back to him, sent it upstairs. That one hit the pipe square. And the best opportunity so far of the hockey game came for Davies at the end of their power play. They were just unable to convert on the play.
And a great setup there by Davies. They got exactly what they want. Pucks to the net, rebounds, and puck right to the stick of Bullinger, but unfortunately a half inch one way and it's the crossbar a half inch the other way, and you're celebrating your first goal of the game. But no, great look by Davies, great play by Stibbe, throwing the puck for a rebound, and then oh boy, it just right where the crossbar meets the right post and goes to the corner. But a great look for Davies, and Red River will take that break though.
That was about as close as it gets. Riders have the opportunity on the other side of the ice. They fire one towards the net. Wimpkin goes down. He'll make another stop. 15:43 to play here in the second. Scoreless game at our first International Bank and Trust scoreboard. Face-off to be taken in the Davies end. Shots are now 10-8 favoring Red River here tonight. Puck comes back away for the Riders in the offensive zone as Grant Staren's got it. He works it up to the point. Sent in. That one tipped on in front. Freegee whistled it towards the net. Sent right back out in front. All one-time opportunity. That one was sent up, but just wide of the chance for Mikey Coleman. Coleman, an all EDC selection here this year, has got 36 points. He wanted another one. Eagles bring it in and fire it towards the net. It's knocked down by the strong defensive play from Cooper Freegee again. And the Riders mount their breakout from their own defensive territory where they go over their own blue line. Now up over center. Here's a 2-on-1 back in for the Riders. Sent in. Oh, sent just wide. Opportunity there from Spruill. The puck comes back away onto center ice where it's going to be taken here and hammered right back in. Goes off the blocker of Wimpkin and up into the protective mesh, and a stop of the play with just shy of 15 minutes to play here in the second period. It's still a scoreless hockey game.
And a great play there by Granstead with Red River coming up the right wing on the rush. A great chip play at the blue line, sending his teammates in 2-on-1. You probably want to get that one on net or maybe shoot for a rebound if you're Red River, but missing the net, creates a rush the other way for the Davies Eagles possibly. So, maybe would want a little bit better out of that opportunity.
You feel this one's going to open up just a little bit more here in the second than it was in the first?
It's tough to say because it is the long change period. So, you're going to see maybe a little bit more dumping of the puck this period, getting off. That weak side trailing defenseman's got to be really, really careful this period. So I don't know if you're going to see that guy. Maybe the D aren't going to get as activated in the rush, but the way these two teams are playing, it wouldn't surprise me. If something like that happened where a guy has a bad change and we have a breakaway the other way with his wide open as it's been at times.
Red River fired it in. Davies went in after it to start the rush back out to center. They knock it out to the neutral ice zone. Stibbe was in after it, then it's going to be taken by the Riders. They push it right back in. Came in on goal. Wimkin sent it right back to center, and here come the Eagles back in offensive territory. Puck bounces out in front of the net to Berger. Comes away to Stibbe now, the far side half wall. He's having a scrum over there with Severson. The puck is going to be freed and sent back in from Davies. They need to go off for a change. They get 3 for 5. All forwards go off, and it opens up the ice for the Riders, who bring it into the offensive zone. Wimkin's forced to play it back in his own defensive territory to the side of the cage. It's going to be flipped back out to center. And now on the retrieve is Leduc back in his own territory. Worked it up to neutral ice from the far wall over to the near. It's going to bounce through the neutral ice territory. And now Kankel-Fritz goes the other way with it. Kankel-Fritz hits the brakes on the wall, makes a spin move, burns it back up to the point. Davies has it here on the near sideline. Comes away to Rarick, sends it in, shots everybody. It's in the net. They have scored. And the Eagles strike for first blood tonight. 13:36 left in the second period. That one just rolled across the goal line, and Cam Bollinger said, come on, get past the line. Yes, sir, 43rd point of the year.
And I think they might give this goal to Lorenz, actually, Nick. I guess we'll have to see the replay here, but a great job by Davies rotating the puck up high. Real simple. I mean, Red River was pretty packed in there in front of their goaltender, but those pucks, gets through sticks and legs and all that and just trickles behind Berger, and a 1-0 hockey game for the Eagles.
Good call. That is for sure going to be Luke Lorenz. Instead of 42 on the other side for Bollinger, it's Lorenz that picks up number 14. The Eagles could care less who scored it because they've got themselves a 1-0 lead with 13:19 left here in the second period. Puck's on in front. Here's a drive. The Riders score. My goodness. Bing, bang, boom. Back in front. That puck came out on a tee. This place comes to volume as it was sent to the back of the net by Dylan Jackson.
And as a coach, Nick, one thing we talk about a lot is response shifts. And, Davies gets on the board, and Red River's second line gets out there, has a great grind shift. And, they work the puck to the front to, Dylan Jackson sitting there on the doorstep again. Great goal scorers, nowhere to be when their team's buzzing in the offensive zone. A great response by Red River, and we're back to a knotted-up hockey game.
Well, we got through the first period without a single goal registered. We're not even 4 minutes into the second, and we exchange blows in this one. It's like a prize fight here tonight. Holyfield and Tyson. Back and forth we go as the puck's going to be handled now here by the Rider side of the cage. Sent out in front. Oh, they scored again. Puck came to the goal line. It's worked back out in front off of Sproul, and Sproul puts that one into the back of the net for his 41st point of the year. Doesn't matter how they look, just as long as they look to turn the goal light on, and that's what we see with that one.
And we said it, a great shift to respond to that first goal, and you keep it going with the next couple shifts, just trying to throw it out front, and goes off the defenseman Yeager's stick and behind Wimkum, and Red River's got a 2-1 lead, and the game that I thought may not open up a little bit is starting to open up a little bit, Nick.
12:52 left here in the second period. We go from a pretty strong defensive teeter-totter match to all of a sudden back-to-back goals in this one, and it's the Riders that have the lead. Puck settled down to the far side corner. Davies in after it in their own territory. Puck is freed by the Riders. They work it away to the near side wing, back to center where it's going to be taken and sent out ahead from Davies. Off the attempt there from Easton Rarick to move it down into the zone. Riders got it back, and they dump it right back into their offensive territory. Stibbe had his pocket pick. Now a spin move in the slot. Comes back away. Riders are buzzing again as the puck's taken here from Windjam. Windjam's lit up on the far side wing, and Stibbe's going to free it. He'll work it out to center now. Stibbe carries in. Stibbe's run into there on the far side wall. The play from Wyatt Leduc. Frees the puck on the near side wing. D-zone for the Riders, where they flip this one high up to center. That one towered up in the neutral ice zone and then fell right down at the center ice stripe. Fargo Davies home fans start to come alive in this one. The Eagles trail by a goal. It's 2-1 here with 11:50 to play in the second. At center ice, Davies with possession. They're going to dump down back in behind the net. Hulberg in after it is Easton Rarick. Puck came away to the near side wing, and it's going to be freed on the near side half boards. D-zone for the Riders as Beadall tried to free it. Comes back into the possession now up top with a drive coming. That one sent wide and steered just wide of the net as the opportunity was there from Joby Fryer. Comes back up now for the Riders up to neutral. They bring it in. Here's Beadall, top of the circle. Sent it out in front. Nobody home. Puck comes back away now to the possession of the Eagles in their D territory. Tried to unload it out to center. They do here. And the bouncing puck goes out into the Rider defensive zone where it goes down to Joby Fryer. The puck's back up and picked back away here now for the Red River. They're going to dump this one all the way down. There's a hit back behind the play, brought everybody alive. Here's a one-time opportunity other end of the ice for the Riders. It's taken and fired towards the net, and that one was knocked down off a grandstand's attempt, and it comes back down where it's taken here and worked back away from Drew Rarick on the near side wing. Goes back over to the far. Rarick's going to have it back behind the net one more time. Just leaves this one here to the near side. It's going to be picked up by the Eagles, so they have possession with Kanko Fritz trying to move it ahead back out to center where it comes into the possession for Red River. Eichman flips it off the head. Shots are now 15-11 in favor here of Red River. They've got the advantage in this one, and this hockey game has been a good one here tonight from the Shields Arena here in Fargo. Red River's got the jam right now, though, don't they? Puck is going to be taken and worked back out into the offensive zone for Davies. Puck comes back in behind the Rider net, behind Berger. Puck is freed back over to the far side wing, and it's going to be sent back up into the neutralized territory. No, it's going to be held. Archibald walks in, fires, shot, save, rebound, turned back to the corner. Picked up by the Riders in the far corner here from Mason Reynolds. Puck's going to be freed into the circle, comes back away now. And the Riders have possession where they go back to the neutral ice zone. It's taken here and moved up by Riley Vent. She's going to walk in and dump it down into the corner, back behind the net. It comes back free now here for the Riders. Turnaround shots out of the cage. That attempt from Leduc comes back away now here for Davies. They go back to neutral ice. And Jackson Archbold takes it and sends it down into the corner on the stick side of Berger. Down to 9:28 to play here in the second period. 2-1, Red River leads Fargo Davies. Puck's out in front of the Red River net. Comes out of the tank, fired home as Garrett Winjum shoots and scores.
And as a coach, those are the turnovers you can have. I mean, the puck's behind your own net. You've got a defenseman with full control back there, and all credit to Stibby too. The kid just works hard. Or might have been his line mate there, Archbold, that got the puck out. But the Red River letting that puck off their stick, letting it come out of the corner to a goal scorer in a spot like that, and is able to sneak it low blocker on Berger. And it's a 2-2 hockey game, and it's a little bit wide open right now, Nick.
It seems to just be a teeter-totter match where the neutral ice zone play is really the name of the game, where they kind of go back and forth with it. Then all of a sudden the chances are just converted on. When you have matchups like that, Dave, it really turns into a fun hockey game to be a part of. Here's a drive from Beadall. He's hauled up on the shot attempt. He wanted to call. He didn't get it. Puck is going to be taken by Davies. They send it all the way back into Rider territory. Back in his own defensive end, it's Mason Ray that goes up to center. Davies trying to work it back in. Puck is freed here now by the Eagles on the near side wing. But it's Red River with possession again. They're going to go back up to center. They bump it ahead forward off the far side wall. Goes back away now to Easton Rarick. And Rarick moved it to center. The Riders got it. They dumped it right back in. Back over on the far side wing, trying to clear their defensive zone of the Eagles. Puck comes back away to the near side where Hunter Demers on the near side boards. Scrums for it, comes up to the point. Here's that drive that came in. Ethan Doctor fired it on. Whitcomb goes down and makes the stop, and he's going to hang on to it. We've got a media timeout inside of the Shields Arena. 8:25 left here in the second period. 2-2 hockey game. This one's had a little bit of everything in it. Oh my goodness, what a state title matchup right now. We're deadlocked at deuces. Listen to these student sections here at the state championship game tonight. They are engaged and big time. Alongside of Dave Wilson, I'm Nick Hulberg. Thanks for joining us here for the state championship matchup of North Dakota boys high school hockey tonight. It has turned into a roller coaster ride here in this one. Davies scored first in the second period. Red River then tied it up. Red River then took a lead. And Davies has the most recent goal to tie it back up. But it's the Riders with possession of the offensive territory now. They work it back to the far point. Here's the drive coming, knocked down out in front of the net, taken and worked back away over to Drew Rarick. He tries to clear the zone, pushes it up to center, comes back into the possession at neutral ice where it's going to be worked back for the Riders in their own territory. Here for Doctor. Doctor carries in, got it up here to Spruill, sent it out in front of the net. Opportunity came, and now Carter Spruill's got it again. Back to the point. Leduc sends it across. Ooh, just through the blue paint. That one whistled off the blocker of Wimpkin. Comes down to the possession here for the Davies Eagles. They go back up to neutral ice with it. Pam Bullinger sends it down into the corner, and in after it here in the territory for Red River. The D-man, Mason Stroh, picks it up and works it out to center. Puck's going to be taken here by Riley Vance. She's going to turn the burners on, goes out towards the net, coast to coast, sends it out in front. Oh, opportunity was there, sent back for the Riders. Here's a drive on goal. Whitcomb comes up with a big one. He made his 16th save of the hockey game, make it 17 as the board changes there, and that was a must-save opportunity for Wimpkin, and he comes up with a big one.
And really, these goaltenders nowadays are such good athletes, and being able to go post to post to his right, and then being able to come off that post and take away a great shooting angle from a really good forward. I mean, it's we're going to get to talk to Aaron Walski here between the second and the third period, and it's been 20 years since I played, and these guys, the athletes that these goaltenders have become. Olsenowski and Conklin for Minot's one, a good little athlete, and Berger as well, and you can say Buchholz for West Fargo. The level of athleticism with these kids, and I mean, it is just, it's unreal to see. I mean, I don't know if I'd make a varsity team now if it was the same as I was. Put me as an 18-year-old, I'd probably be opening the door for a JV team.
That was where I fit into line, and back at that time, in the early 2000s, I mean, you still had to be athletic. But we're seeing such a changing of the guard with how quick the game has gotten that you have to be fast. And if you're not fast, you're going to be in trouble. And let me tell you, you and I both, Dave, you thought I was slow back then. Just imagine now. Imagine Stibby coming in on you. I mean, obviously there was guys with speed back in your day from out at high as well, Dave, but the game has gotten so much quicker, hasn't it? And the way it's played is just different from 20 years ago, especially here at this high school level.
Absolutely. Just the skill plays that are made with speed and the indirect passing plays that are made with speed. I mean, that is just at another level, and it just always amazes me watching these teams, the new creative things that these kids are able to do with a hockey stick at full speed.
Puck's handled and worked up to the line. Riders have it. The shot came in for Mason Stroh. It was knocked down. Puck's down to the corner of the near side. Some of the top athletes in the state of North Dakota for high school athletics are on showcase here tonight at the Shields Arena. Without question. Puck is going to be taken back by the Riders in their own defensive territory. They're going to have possession. They go from partner to partner where it goes up to center ice. Turned over. Stibby's got it back in. Stibby's going to turn it. Fire blocker. Stop came there from Berger. Puck's at the side of the net. Darchebold had a handle on it for just a moment. But it's taken by the Riders, and they work it all the way back out and down. Back in the defensive territory for Davies. They work it back ahead with Hunter Demers. Back over the far side wing. It's going to be sent down underneath the net where Winsham was in after it. The scrum continues down in deep with help there as Mattern trying to get a handle on it, but there's a delayed call coming here on the Eagles. The net became empty because Berger went off on the delayed call coming here. And into the sin bin goes Grant Mattern. He's not exactly happy about that one. I'm not sure what the call was. I missed it.
I believe it's holding here. The Red River defenseman got the puck in the corner, tried to work his way up the wall, and there's that spare arm that comes around right there, and the Red River defenseman did a great job of kind of selling that call. But anytime you get that spare arm around a guy right there, and you prevent him from getting the puck up the ice, and Davies not really thrilled with that penalty call there, but if a puck creates a turnover like that in the zone, I mean, that's one where you kind of your hands are tied for the official. I mean, that's a call that's got to be made with that loose arm, and obstruction being a big thing, and that they're wanting to try to get out of high school hockey.
Puck's going to be taken off the face-off and won back by the Eagles. They're going to fire it all the way down to the other end of the ice surface. Berger was out of the net to play it. 6 minutes, 10 seconds to play here in the second. We started late tonight because the girls' championship game went to double overtime. It was Davies that fell to Fargo north-south here tonight as the Spruans won the state championship. That was an entertaining game. This one started 0-0 tonight after one period. That's where we sat, and now halfway through two and a little bit more, it's the Davies Eagles and Red River Rough Riders that are deadlocked at deuces. A minute 30 remains of power play time here for the Riders as the puck has sailed to the other end of the ice here from the Eagles. Penalty kills have been good for both of these teams here in the tournament.
Oh, and I see another play there by Wimkin, and probably a play that 90% of the goaltenders are going to cover that puck and live to see another face-off.
Into the offensive zone, Riders are down, shot came in. Opportunity was there, but the stop was made from Wimkin on the hard shot from Mikey Coleman. Puck's underneath the net again where Coleman goes to work on it. 3-for-3 scrum down to the corner. This is the left side of the radio dial where the puck is picked up by the Riders. They work it back up to the point. All the way to the far line. It's going to be dropped down in deep off of Free G. He gets it back. They play give and go with it now on the far wing to the point. Comes up top now here for Mason Ray. Sends it to the top of the circle. That's because Stibbe took it from him, and now it's going to be taken by the Eagles. They launch it down. All opportunity was there for Garrett Windham. Got too far in front of him, but he still gains some possession of the puck down to the defensive territory. Meanwhile, the Riders are out with it. They go coast to coast. Here's a drive coming. That one's going to be knocked down out in front of the Davies netminder, and then after the puck on the near side wing, it's Grandstand that continues to scrum for it, goes back to the far point. The captain's got it, firing it on. Free G, stop was made. Wimkin comes underneath the net, sent back out into the far circle on the glove hand side. Here the goaltender for Davies, who has been solid tonight. Wimkin seen 22, he stopped 20 of them. The Eagles are 2 for 2 on the kill. We're back to 5-on-5. Puck comes up to the point. Whistle back underneath the goal line now as it's going to be handled here by Red River at the goal line. Puck is going to be scrum for here, and now here come the Eagles out to center ice. Cam Bullinger up to neutral. Puck was taken away there. Then tattooed. Beto went down. He got rock'em sock'em right in the neutral ice zone, and the hitting has not been of a shortage here tonight by any means in this state title game. Puck comes back into the offensive zone now for the Riders on the near side wing, hitting the brakes down to the corner. Skylar Severson works it back up to the point, but it's taken here by the Eagles. Stibbe's going to have a chance. Lead pass. He's in all alone. Here's a backhander. Oh, what a stop from Berger. He shut the door on the opportunity as Barron Stibbe came down, and Stibbe was looking for point number 48 tonight, and the door was slammed by Berger with 3:23 left here in the second period. That was a big save.
Oh, and a great play by Davies there to get the puck up ice. I believe it was Bullinger that made the pass. Just a set play that those guys probably do 1,000 times through the year in practice. Just kind of a flip play, and then it's a get on your horse and go. And Stibbe made a great play to corral a bouncing puck, and Berger made an even better save to keep this game tied.
Cam Bullinger, side of the net, brought it in, put it on goal. The stop was made. 2:56 left here in the second. Are you entertained yet, Dave? Are you entertained? 2-2 hockey game.
Yeah, once again, we talked about these kids that are able to make skill plays, at 100 miles an hour. And, if you're watching on TV, you watch a flip pass like that where, Stibbe's at the red line and Bullinger makes the pass to the blue line. He catches it, knocks it out of the air, gets around the Red River defenseman, and gets the puck to his backhand. And a great play by Berger there too, standing his ground and following a great goal scorer to keep the hockey game tied.
Kind of like the backyard football game on Thanksgiving. You just run over to the corner, hit to your left, then fake to your right, go back to your left, and I'll just toss it up to you. That's what that play at center ice looked like. Is it going to be a goal like that in this one here tonight that you think might be the difference maker in a game like this?
Well, I've been wrong with a lot of my predictions so far tonight, Nick, so it very well could be. Just a tremendous. I'm still awed by some of the skill plays that these kids are making at really, really high speeds, and the gap control. And both teams, we've seen it get a little bit looser defensively at times, but at the same time, when the puck gets near both teams' goaltenders, both teams are doing a great job collapsing in front of their goaltenders to make it really tough to get the puck through, and it may take a greasy one, it may take a fabulous one. The way this game's going has really been unpredictable with how they're going to come.
Yeah, this has been just a surprise after a surprise here in this showdown. 4 goals have been scored, 2 on each side. An instant classic brewing here at Shields Arena. The last time that Red River won a state championship, their 18th title was in this venue. That happened in 2020. Puck's handled down with the far side wing here by Davies in their defensive zone. They try to flip it up to center. They do. This one's going to roll all the way down. It's going to come right on top of the blue paint. It's on goal. Berger's going to be forced to hang on to it. 2 minutes, 28 seconds left here in the second. And this second period has certainly been worth the price of admission as Davies, by the way, tries to track down their first ever state championship. To get the first one is big for the program. To get the 19th is pretty big for the program as well, but that first one I would think is probably much more important for the community here tonight at Fargo than Grand Forks.
Well, I guess as I've learned from spending some time in Grand Forks, so that it doesn't matter if it's the 19th one or the, with Grand Forks Central, the 30th one. That's the expectation, and they celebrate them whether it's the first one or the 19th or the 30th. Every one is big. Every one of those years goes on those banners at Purpur Arena, and it's a big deal. You say, oh, they won 19 of those things, and what's the difference if Fargo Davies? No, there is a pride level in Grand Forks of not letting a Fargo school win a state championship, so you can put that on the banner at Purpur Arena. Everybody looks up there, and they know the years that are missing, and you don't want to be on one of those Grand Forks teams that has one of those missing years, especially to a Fargo school.
Puck's handled here on the near side wing. Well said. The rivalry is big. Davies has the puck in their own defensive territory. They flip out to center. It's going to go back into the neutralized zone. Riders are back in with it. Here comes Red River in with a drive. The stop came up. As down onto the pillows went Wimkin. He comes up with another save here. That opportunity is coming in and firing a hard wrist shot was Cooper Friege, looking for his 17th point of the season. Players on both sides here in this one that certainly can get the job done. We talked about it in the open of the show here tonight that these teams collectively have 43 wins altogether on the season, and they've only been beaten 8 times. And 2 of the losses out of those 8 come to each other. They split on the season earlier on this year. Both team won on their opponents' home ice. Puck's taken here by Cam Bollinger up at center ice. Bollinger dumps it into the Red River defensive zone. Back on the retrieve here for the Riders. And spinning it up off the glass. It's going to come all the way back out into the neutral ice area. Back on the retrieve now. It's taken here by Davies, and it's going to come back to center where it's going to go into the possession now for Luke Lorenz, and Lorenz has it here. Got it off to Cam Bollinger, sent it down into the corner. Back on it now is Stroh on the near side wing. Brings it up to the near side wall. Trying to move it out was Beadall. It's going to be taken here by the Eagles. It's sent forward towards the net here by Cam Bollinger again, but the puck is freed up on the near side boards. Take it back again there by Beadle on the near side, trying to clear it out up at the line. Stibbe got it. He fired it on. Puck comes back away now up to center where the Riders have possession. They just touch up on it. The puck goes back underneath the Davies net. Got to grab a drink of this Red Bull here real quick. Excuse me. There we go. Puck is going to be handled now by Red River on the near side wing. They're going to fire to head forward up to center where it's taken and dumped back in behind here by Jack Bollinger. Jack hasn't been as busy tonight as he has been in the 2 previous games. Not that he's been bad by any means tonight, but haven't said his name a ton here this evening. Puck's going to be sent down in front. Oh, the net's off. It's Moorings. We're going to have a stop of the play with 28 seconds remaining here in the second period.
And then there's a play right there, Nick. Just shows what these kids were putting into this. You've got a rush going up the wall by Red River there. I didn't catch a number coming up the wall there. I don't know if it was Reynolds, but you've got your 2 senior captains, Easton Rarick and Baron Stibbe, diving to prevent that puck coming from the corner, and they both go head into their own net and take it off the mooring. So don't tell me these kids aren't invested in this hockey game, because they certainly are.
Kids, get ready to cut them down. 27 seconds remain. Here's a drive that came in. Stop was made there from Wimkin. Davies has the puck. They're going to flip it off the glass of the far side wing. All right, we're at 17 seconds. Cut them down as the puck is taken here by the Eagles. They're just going to smash it back in behind the net here at Berger. Taking his time behind his own goal and handling here. This is Cooper Friege on the near side wing. He's going to skate it up down to the neutralized zone. Maybe a chance for one more shot. They're going to have to hurry in over the line. 1 second to play. Comes in on goal. Wimkin makes the stop. We've got ourselves a 2-2 hockey game at the end of 2 periods played. A real dogfight to this one. Coming up in our Legacy Financial Partners and Premier Chiropractic Intermission Report, we'll have a special guest on the broadcast. Aaron Walski will join us up here in the press box. He was about as famous as it got in North Dakota for quite a while there after his 72-save performance in the state championship game back in 2000 when Red River beat Fargo North. He was on that Fargo North club. 5 overtime game was needed, and he was the MVP of that one without a doubt. We'll talk to him and get some of those memories and hockey stories. You're looking forward to that? That will be fun.
Yeah, absolutely. That would just another example of catching up with some history at the state hockey tournament.
Lots of fun. Coming up next, we'll have a full recap of that period that was, about as entertaining as it gets here at the state hockey tournament. Title game, 4 goals scored in the second session of 17 minutes, 2-2 here on the First International Bank and Trust scoreboard. State championship coverage here on the PSP Network.
What we do really comes down to combining different aspects of patient care. Here at Premier Chiropractic, we love combining soft tissue work, the adjustment, and exercises together. We found that this gets the best results for our patients. We have 3 chiropractors to fit the needs of the entire family, a rehab area for our exercises and equipment for any athlete to improve performance. Give us a call and we will get you back to doing what you love.
Carson, timeout.
Who calls a timeout in this game?
Me, I'm icing the kicker.
Really?
It'll give us more time to talk about First Western Bank and Trust.
Like our convenient online banking.
Along with smart trust service options.
We're all about hometown service with bankers that know you and the community.
Okay, go ahead and kick.
I don't believe this.
First Western Bank and Trust. You can bank on us.
The right way to top a sub is with real red wine vinegar made from red grapes and no food coloring. And the right way to film it is in slow motion. Obviously. Because authentic ingredients make a sub above.
If your eyes could talk, they'd tell you life is better with LASIK. No more reaching for your glasses. No more dry eye from overwearing your contact lenses. Right now, Bismarck LASIK is offering free consultations for LASIK procedures. Break free from the daily hassles and expenses of glasses and contacts. Life is clearly better. Book your free consultation today with Bismarck LASIK and see the difference. Call 222-2020 or schedule online at bismarcklasik.com.
The 30-inch Galactic Pizza is out of this world. There's nothing like it anywhere else in Minot. Too much to handle? Try one of our famous large specialty pizzas like the Blue Buffalo. Get the best pizza in Minot and play some laser tag. At Planet Pizza, South Broadway, Minot.
You remember where this goes?
I don't know.
Are you sure it was a clicking and not a zoom, zoom?
I think your quash litter valve's stuck.
Do you even have insurance?
If we soak it, it should be good.
No matter how much you know or don't know about your vehicle, trust the experts at Tires Plus. Real answers from real mechanics.
Inspections are free to ensure your vehicle is always in peak condition.
Thinking service? Think Tires Plus.
Thanks for points approved.
Great smiles come from Vibetta Orthodontics. Vibetta Orthodontics is a certified Invisalign provider. Invisalign fits your budget and your lifestyle. Braces for children, teens, and adults with affordable monthly payments. Schedule your complimentary consultation and exam by logging on to VibettoOrthodontics.com or by calling 701-839-6010.
Great smiles come from Vibetto Orthodontics.
At Schatz Crossroads, we make 8 gallons of homemade ranch dressing every day. So you can smother your dinner salad with it, dip those crispy golden French fries in it, and dunk your breaded chicken strips. You can even cover your... Wait, no. You can't put ranch on steak. Or can you? Schatz Crossroads. Don't forget the ranch.
Life is all about moments. Big moments. Small moments. And those moments you can't put into words. It's how we at First International Bank and Trust live first and have been for more than 110 years. One customer, one family, one moment at a time. First International Bank and Trust. Live first.
This broadcast presentation on the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by Shields, Premier Chiropractic, First International Bank and Trust, Schatz Crossroads, Sport Clips, Tires Plus, First Western Bank and Trust, the Minot Hockey Boosters, Roger Ward Moving and Storage, Clean Tech, the UPS Store, Magic City Inspections, Planet Pizza, Minot's Finest Collision Center, Subway, Century Eyewear, Qdoba, North Country Sportswear, Morelli's Distributing, Jersey Mike Subs, Pro Style Production DJ Services, and the Beaupre Law Firm.
How do you like a state championship tilt that's tied 2-2 at the end of 2 periods? If you like drama and high intensity, this one is for you. The Riders and the Eagles in a slugfest here tonight at the Shields Arena. Welcome into our legacy financial partners and Premier Chiropractic Intermission Report. Nick Hulberg and Dave Wilson on the call tonight with a special guest joining us here tonight at the Shields Arena. A legend in North Dakota high school hockey and somebody that's still talked about every year at the North Dakota High School Hockey Tournament. It's Aaron Walski, the former goaltender from Fargo North High School that had one of the most epic performances of all time, 72 saves at the old Ralph Engelstad Arena. First of all, great to see you, man. How are things going for you?
Yeah, well, things are good. Live here in Fargo with my family. I got 2 kids, 6 and 3, so fun to be back. I haven't seen a tournament and game in quite a while, but my nephew's a sophomore in Red River, so it's a good reason to get back here.
When you watch a matchup like this, how much do you miss the game? How much do you miss being in the blue paint at times? I mean, does that come back to you still, or are you all right with not being a player anymore?
Yeah, well, I was talking to somebody about it yesterday, and it's been 20 years, so that dates me a little bit and puts things in perspective, but just impressed with the speed of the game. High level. It's great to see all the people coming out. I mean, we got a pretty full place here at Shields Arena, and you get a little bit of fire going again, just kind of remembering the old days, but certainly some great memories, and just fun to be back watching a good level of competition.
After your time at Fargo North, you go on to play in the USHL for a little while, then the Bismarck Bobcats off to play at the University of North Dakota. I mean, you obviously had a great career as well. What do you take away the most from the sport of hockey? Is there something that you take away more than one thing than the other besides just the competition itself? Is there anything there for you?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I remember I was probably 20, 21, and just thinking back how, the commitment my parents made when, what it is to be a hockey parent, and now all these hockey parents around the state are feeling that too. They may not see that appreciation when their kids are younger, but I tell you, when your kids will get older, there will be some appreciation there, and just thinking of the friendships you make and the things that you take with you in your life, hard work, being on time, and all those things that just make good people. that I just think is really important that the sport of hockey has given me. So.
You were so fantastic to watch. You had the opportunity to call your games with the Bismarck Bobcats, and I don't know if I ever saw a goaltender, honestly, in my time from high school hockey to college hockey to pro hockey, junior hockey, that dominated the way that you did. Do you have one memory besides that state title matchup? We're going to go back to that in a moment, but do you have one memory that stands out for you? Maybe the day that you got the call that you were going to North Dakota had to have been pretty cool, I guess, but do you have one memory that stands out for you?
Yeah, I'll always remember when Carrie Eads called me and had that conversation, but outside of that, I would probably say the first start I got at UND, that was certainly an exciting one. I had grown up in Grand Forks. It'd been a dream to even play high school hockey, and then going to the UND games, and that's probably the most memorable outside of that one, is just being able to put on that jersey and get a start for UND.
Let's go back to the old Ralph Engelstad Arena, the final game that was ever played for high school hockey at the old Ralph, the championship game that night where you took on some former teammates and some friends, I'd have to assume, from Red River that night. You guys come out on the losing end of that, but it was a performance that was unlike anything that we had seen in the state. What do you remember most about that night that went into the next day and into the morning the next day?
Yeah, I just, people still talk about it today. We just were trying to win a state championship. We had a great group of guys. I was a junior, that year. We had a great group of seniors, and we had won state as Bantams, and we had a great class in our class. We had the senior class ahead of us, and I just remember when it was over, we were just kind of sad for our seniors. We knew it was over. We had one more chance to come back and get another crack at it, but just kind of, great teammates, and kids that have played together all the way up. I had just moved here when I was a freshman from Grand Forks, so I hadn't played with them quite as long, but great memories with those guys.
Dave stepping in here with Aaron, and being a goaltender myself, one thing that I was so impressed with that game in 20 years ago, something that I'll always remember, was just your composure, from overtime to number 3, overtime number 4. I mean, we just saw a game here at Shields Arena a few months ago where UND's playing Minnesota Duluth, and the Duluth goalie in the 4th or 5th overtime has to leave the game because of hydration issues. And I mean, you saw a lot more rubber than he did that night. And as I don't want to say that he was a better athlete than you were, but a young 16, 17-year-old kid in high school, keeping composure, keeping yourself hydrated, keeping yourself in the game. Can you talk a little bit about that? Because I've never been involved in a 5-6 overtime game as a goaltender, and that's what impressed me most, is how you're able to keep it together composure-wise.
Yeah, interesting. You bring up the UND Duluth game. I was at that game, sitting right behind that Duluth goalie. Actually, phenomenal battle between those teams that night. But I think it's just you don't think about anything but where you're at. You got to be right where you're at, thinking about that next shot and just staying focused. That's all I remember. You don't think too hard about what's on the line. You've played hockey your whole life, and you try to give your chance a team to win, and when you're in the state title, that's all you can do, is just one shot at a time. And honestly, don't even really remember thinking that what the shots were. Is just we had some good opportunities to win that. We had a breakaway in overtime, and more than anything, would love to win a state championship with those guys, but just one shot at a time and kind of staying in that moment is all I can really say.
Yeah, like one of the best performances you'll ever see. And real quick too, I want to talk about the transition going. We're going from Grand Forks South. That's back when the teams were split, going to Fargo North. How was that transition as a Bantam age kid for you? That's a tough move, and as far as those Fargo North kids accepting you, that must have made a big difference in your hockey career there too.
Yeah, as a 9th grader, for any kid that age, it is a hard time to move, just in life and being a kid. Hockey is something that helped me just build friendships, and it probably turned out the better for my hockey career, just because of the situation of goaltending. They had Nate Ziegelman up at in Red River, who was a great goalie, wanted to play Division I hockey, and frankly probably wouldn't have played quite as much there. So for my hockey career, it ended up being out. But the reason we moved is for my dad's job, and it wasn't around hockey. But it ended up being a good thing and built some great friendships for the guys at Fargo North.
And then I'm glad you mentioned Nate Ziegelman too, because I grew up playing pee-wees and bantams, and he was great friends with my cousin who was on a Southside kid in Grand Forks, and I mean that's you almost out-battled Mr. Hockey that night, and talking to some Red River people, the coaches told him before the game that he was Mr. Hockey, and don't be too special and all that, and I mean for you to go toe-to-toe with him, a former teammate of yours, and I mean that was kind of the special part for me. I mean you got the going against the big red monster as we call Red River, and for you to see that many shots and play toe-to-toe with a goaltender like that, who had a pretty good hockey career, ended up at Minnesota Duluth. So
yeah, for sure. And like you said, I had grown up playing with a lot of those kids from Red River, so I knew them all well. Me and Nate were on the same team in Grand Forks and Bantams, and again, just great memories. It's fun to think back on, but really fun to come out here. My nephew is Luke Beadall, number 42 for Red River, and kind of gets the juices going a little bit when you got a little relative out there too. So we're turning the page here. Red River took us down a little over 20 years ago. Now I'm cheering on Red River with my nephew out there, so kind of fun.
I got to ask you this: does that conversation get brought up about your performance at the state high school hockey tournament over Thanksgiving dinners and things like that? How much has that story changed over time? I guess if I was in your shoes, it would have gone from 72 saves to about 150 by this point, I have to tell you.
That sounds about right, Nick. That sounds about right. So it does get brought up from time to time, and it's, honestly, it's an honor that people think of it, and it's just, it's a fun memory, and it's, like I said, it's just fun to be back here watching these kids compete, and we got a third period 2-2 game. I feel like a very similar spot we were at a little over 20 years ago. So these kids are going to remember this for the rest of your life, and what a fun opportunity for that they got going right here.
Final thing for you. Obviously, there's guys that looked up to you playing at North Dakota, your time with the Bobcats and in Junior A hockey. What's your message to young athletes and young kids and goaltenders along the board, or even players along the boards, to just say, what is the message to them on some advice that you would give?
Yeah, I just, I think you just got to bring it every day, right? I mean, you don't just become good at anything. You just one day at a time. What can you do to be a better athlete, right? And it's as you get older, it's more weight training. It's more of the things and being a good teammate. So just handling things one day at a time and be a good teammate, and that's all these kids can handle. So
great to see you, man. Thanks for your time. Enjoy the rest of this one.
Nice to meet you.
We've been big fans forever, man. We still talk about that performance all the time. We've been talking about it all weekend. Great to see you, Aaron. That's Aaron Walski, former University of North Dakota Fighting Sioux, former standout for Fargo North. Remember that performance was unbelievable, wasn't it? It really was.
Unreal goaltending performance. Fabulous.
We're underway for the third period. It's a 2-2 hockey game here at the state championship at the Shields Arena in Fargo, North Dakota. Davies and Red River deadlocked at deuces right now as the puck's going to be handled here at center ice and dumped down by the Riders into the offensive territory. We're in after it are the Eagles. They go back up to center ice with it, taken here by Grandstand. He's back in, fires it on. The stop is made. Whitcomb goes down and he hangs on to it. Will we see another performance like that here tonight with these gentlemen that are in the blue paint here tonight? Shots are 25-19 at the end of two periods played, and it's a 2-2 hockey game. This one has been good tonight, and both these kids are certainly maybe not the caliber of Aaron Walski that night, but they're certainly playing well here.
Well, and they may not have to be the caliber of Aaron Walski that night, because remembering that hockey game, Nick, that was all Red River. This game's pretty north and south both directions, but I mean, that hockey game, you had a couple different Division I players on Red River's roster that season. I mean, you had Mike Eichmann played at Omaha, and you had Nate Ziegelman playing at Duluth. I mean, that game was all Red River, and I mean, if that game was 7-1, I mean that would have kind of that would have been a perfect indicator of how Red River played that night, because it could have easily been 7-1 that night before it even got to overtime.
15:57 left here in regulation. 2-2 hockey game. Davies holds the line on the far side. Big Jack Bollinger held it there, but then he was tattooed. Puck's going to be freed now here by Red River. Puck comes all the way down. There's going to be an interference call coming here. Who's this going to be on? It's going to be on the Eagles, and the power play comes back up for the Riders. Their third power play of the game. Red River 0 for 2 right now and into the sin bin. Who's going here? Both doors are open at the penalty box side of things.
I'm not sure which Davies defenseman was. I mean, kind of, I don't know. There's a, like you talked about, officials letting him play a little bit. We had a, believe Michael Holm had the call there on the interference. I'm not sure who exactly they got there, but it was at the far blue line. A Davies defenseman did pick Mikey Coleman coming out of the zone a little bit. Looks like it's going to be on Bullinger, the big defenseman, 230-pound junior defenseman, and Davies coaches aren't going to be too happy about that one, but it just, get back to work and kill this penalty off, and let's get back to 5-on-5.
What a hockey game this has been here tonight. Face-off will be on the blocker side of Weimkin. Power plays back out here for the Riders. Face-off's won by Red River. They've got the puck. They work it back to the far point. Wyatt Leduc hands it here. Back over to the top of the circle where it comes back to Stroh underneath the goal line. Set up on the far wall again. Stroh's going to skate it down underneath the half wall. A quick trip into Gretzky's office. Now he's out with it. Away to the near side wing. He's going to work it back around the perimeter all the way back to the point. Leduc handles near side line. Sends it in. He shoots and scores. Oh, that was a twisted wrister that had eyes. And a power play goal for Leduc. His 23rd point of the year, and it's 3-2 Riders.
And a similar goal to his goal last night against Fargo South Shanley. He's got the puck at the top, an umbrella look for Red River, and just, threads the puck through. They got great net front present by Red River there with Jackson in front of the net, and that puck had a little bit of eyes to beat Wimkin, who maybe got caught a little bit deep in the net there, but great players make great plays, and that's a big one for Red River to give them a 3-2 lead here in the third period.
Got to correct myself. That was actually Carter Sproul that had the puck that sent it down. 12 is Stroh, 21 is Sproul. My apologies on that goal call there, but we do know for a fact that the puck was fired into the net by Wyatt Leduc. Last time Red River scored to start a period, Davies fired right back. Will we see more of that here? Puck comes down to Grandstand. In the skates it went, but it's taken by the Eagles. They work it back to the line. It's tipped out in front of the net by Grandstand. High stick on the delayed call. It's going to be touched now by the Eagles. There's a check on the far side wall, and a tripping's coming here. The power play comes back out for the Riders. And not appreciating that call is Grant Gardner. Make it Yeager on the other side, and this place comes to volume.
And the puck's over in the corner, and really he's just kind of setting a pick play for his buddy, and I don't know if his stick got in the way of the Red River player there. He might have lost an edge, but he's upset about it, but just let calmer heads prevail. Nate Metcalf not very happy on the Davies bench right now. He wants to talk to the officials here. I don't know if they're going to give him any time here, and they're just going to drop the puck and play on.
Well, if you're Nate Metcalf, unfortunately in this situation, that's one where he's got the right to be livid the way that he is. Metcalf not impressed with that call. Neither is anyone inside the Shields Arena. We'll take another look at it on the big video board here. And over towards the wall, Grandstand just lost an edge. Listen to this place come alive as they watch that replay again. And poor Dan Emery, who's been fantastic here in the tournament, might have missed one there, had the wrong call on that play. And Nate Metcalf is livid on the Davies bench. Power plays back out for the Riders. There's a quick whistle here, and we're going to face it off again. Take his whistle is the chant from the Davies student section.
These high school kids aren't kind.
They are ruthless right now here at Shields Arena. Keep in mind, this is like a home game here tonight for the Eagles. Puck comes back into the possession now for Red River. Puck's handled here by Leduc. He's going to skate it back behind his own net. Baron Stibbe's on top of him. Leduc's going to handle with the puck. He goes up the far side wall. Out to center it comes. Sproul sends it across to the near side into the offensive zone. Taken down here by Gardner. Sends it over to the far side. Sproul handles at the half wall. It's going to be taken away. Eagles are out to center. They're shorthanded. They've got a 2-on-1. Easton Rarick in with it. Oh, it just hopped off his tape. Puck comes back away to Rarick. Sends it in. That one went wide of Berger on the glove hand side. Puck comes back away to the near side wing. We're down to 14 minutes on the dot to play here in this third period. 3-2 Riders lead. They had a power play goal a few moments ago. They've got the chance on the extra attacker now with 1:07 remaining on the power play. Their fourth of the game as it's taken into the zone here by Beadall. Beadall sends it on in front, swept out of there by the netminder. Wimkin comes back up to the point, held only momentarily here by the Riders. Still trying to clear the zone are the Eagles. It's Beadall that's got it again here, and Beadall works it back across the neutral ice zone where it's going to be taken. Oh, tattooed and big time. Mason Ray went down, and then the Eagles sent it 200 feet to the other end of the ice surface here with 13:27 to play in this third period. Power play for the Riders is out for the next 34 seconds. They go up over center ice with it into the offensive zone. It's taken across from Mason Ray to the near side top of the circle. Beadall lost a handle on it. Then it's going to be launched to the other end of the ice by Archbold. Berger goes down. He hangs on to it. And a nice play there for Berger just to slow things up. Red River looks to get composed on their power play. That's down to 19 seconds remaining of man advantage time with 13:06 to play in the third period. It is Red River 3, Davies 2 on the First International Bank and Trust scoreboard.
And kind of a critical time here for Red River, Nick. Just having some good shifts after if Davies is able to kill off this penalty. I mean, you and I have both been around hockey long enough to know who we think the next penalty is going to be on based on who the last two are on. So, just get back to their game here after this penalty expires. And, nothing, kind of like last night, you know who the next one's going to come on. Just don't give the officials a chance to make that call.
Puck's taken here by Riley Vetch down and deep here for the Riders. Puck's pushed out of there here by Rarick. He went out to center with it. He's been busy tonight. Puck's taken by Red River. They dump it back in. It's Davies that pushes out to the neutral ice zone where it's taken by Garrett Eichman, who dumps it right back in. Puck's back into the possession here for the Davies Eagles. They go up the far side wing. Hunter DeBurs with possession. Got it up to the neutral ice zone right at the Fargo Force logo at center ice. Reynolds took it back and fired it ahead. Here's Archbold. Other end of the ice surface. Comes in. Fires on. Berger goes down and he hangs on to it. 12 minutes, 24 seconds left in the third period. A media timeout inside of the Shields Arena. We sit on a score of 3-2 in favor of the Riders on the First International Bank and Trust scoreboard. Man, Dan Emery not liking the heat that he's getting here tonight. You have to feel bad for him there. That was one that brought everybody here in Fargo alive. That's part of the game, what we talked about earlier on here tonight, though.
Yeah, and we talked about it yesterday. When you make a call as an official, there's going to be 50% of the people in the facility that like the call you made and 50% that are going to hate it. In that situation, Davies just gave up a power play goal, and then you put them back on the penalty kill. And I mean, he's 85 feet away in the other corner. He sees a Davies kid run into a Red River kid, and he can't tell that the Davies kid lost the edge there. And tough way. Like it's a tough position to be in. Youth sports right now are extremely tough to officiate. Him and his partner have done a great job all weekend, and that's part of the process. And he knows that. You're going to disagree with the call, and it's emotional. And Coach Metcalf, a little emotional there on the Eagles bench. But let's hope this game settles back down here. We can play 5-on-5 though all the rest of the way through the game.
Shots are 29-20 in favor of Red River. Motley Crue blares on the sound system here at Shields Arena. Puck's handled back and behind the Rider net. They try to sweep it onto their own end. They can't. It's Davies with possession now. Cam Bullinger from back and behind the goal. Trying to feed it out in front from Kenkel Fritz, but it's taken by the Riders, and they just drift this one all the way down into the far corner. Doesn't get to the goal line in time for an icing. Grandstrand pokes it free to the near side. Comes to the half boards now at the near side wall where it comes back up to the line where Mason Ray has it. Through traffic, fired it in. Wimcomb went down. He made the save, and through traffic, the Davies netminder, the all-region goaltender, had to see that one because that puck had eyes getting through. Wimcomb had him as well, and he made the save.
Yeah, and a really nice shot from the point there by Mason Ray. Finding a lane there to get to the net, and a fabulous reaction save there by Wimcomb, who didn't really see that one and just caught it right underneath his blocker to keep this a one-shot hockey game.
Puck's on the glove side of the goaltender, Wimcomb. 11:55 to play in the third period. 3-2 Red Rivers on top. Goals in this hockey game look like this. Davies scored first. Red River scored the next two. Davies scored the fourth goal of the game, and then Red River in the third period on the power play scored. We'll have that full reset coming for you. And our next media timeout. Puck's going to be taken here by Davies. They launch it all the way down. Will this be an icing? It will. Here's who's got the goals in the title game tonight. Davies scored first, and on the tally was Luke Lorenz scoring his fourth goal of the season, point number 14. Red River got on the board with the goal from Dylan Jackson. Back-to-back games in the TV round where he's had tallies at the state tournament. Davies got the next one. That was scored from Jack Bullinger. I'm sorry, it was scored on the other side from Carter Spruill. Last goal was scored here by number 9, Wyatt Leduc. Davies had another goal in there from number 6, Garrett Windham. The problem that I'm having tonight, Dave, I got to tell you, the Holiday Inn Express here tonight, there's a player down for Davies back in behind the net. I had these game sheets printed off at the Holiday Inn Express tonight. I used maroon and red, and the printer ink at the Holiday Inn Express, they use the same colors on my cheat sheets. I'm handcuffed here tonight, I'm telling you. 11:05 to play here in this third period. Red River with the lead. They've got Davies handcuffed right now because this is a one-goal game in 11 minutes and a second remains here in the third period. It's far from over here tonight, however. Faceoff comes out to the neutral ice zone. Glove side of the goaltender, Berger. I did gain a ton of knowledge staying at that Holiday Inn Express, though, however. Ever since Wednesday night, Fargo's been great. Great place for this high school hockey tournament. Big hit back to the neutral ice zone. Puck's free down to Beadall. Takes it in, shoots, and scores. Oh, what a play that was from the sophomore. Beadall got it out in front. His 10th goal of the year is the biggest because it's a 2-goal lead now for the Riders as Luke Beadall dropped it down with the glove and fired it into the net, low glove side. 2-goal lead for Red River.
You know, and we just had his uncle up here, you know, between periods, and, you know, just like Aaron Walski said, you know, the amount of skill that these kids have and the play. And like you said, Nick, that puck goes from his glove back down to the ice to his stick, and he beats an all-state goaltender clean to give the Rough Riders a 2-goal lead here in the third period.
Well, the Davies fans have been silenced. Plenty of Red River fans in this place tonight, however, trying to track down their 19th state championship. They're on their way here with 10:38 to play in this third period with a 2-goal lead. Offensive zone, it comes down for Davies. Uh-oh, there's a big hit on the near side wing. Are we going to see a 5-minute boarding call coming here? As there was a big hit on the near side boards. I believe it was Cooper Freege that had the hit. No, it was actually Mason Ray. He's going to the box. The refs are going to talk about it here. And guess what? It's almost like deja vu from last night. The rules in USA Hockey and up to the high school ranks in North Dakota are pretty plain and simple. If the player is checked near that wall and he goes into it with any intent of putting that player there, you're going to be in trouble. Boarding calls are an automatic 5-minute major. So is a check from behind. The officials get together and have the conversation here. The replay on the video board here at the Shields Arena right in front of us.
Yeah, Nick, if you know, the same two officials were in the same situation last night and a really similar hockey play, and it's one that they called a 5 last night. I wonder if they're going to take a look at it for a review here. We'll see. They're talking to both captains right now. I'm not sure what the call on the ice is going to. Oh, it is a 5. I see it up on the scoreboard. It is a 5-minute major for Mason Ray with 10:26 here in the third period, Nick, and the game just got really interesting.
Sports are magical. What happened last night for Red River late to that hockey game against Fargo South, who won the East Region tournament, they ended up in the same exact situation on the other side of the situation. Meaning they ended up with a power play for 5 minutes that they scored twice on. And they ended up with a 3-1 win on the 5-minute major and 2 power play goals. Now Davies has the chance with a 5-minute major with 10:22 remaining. The difference in this one is Davies trails by 2 at 4-2 as we're late to the contest here tonight. Do you like drama or do you like drama?
Oh boy, Nick. A little bit more time here for Davies than South Shanley had last night to try to create some magic. So we'll see what happens here. You know, maybe situation 2 where you see Nate Metcalf use a timeout to keep that top unit fresher at some point in the power play.
Puck's handled down by the Eagles. They've got possession with Rarick down and deep, taken away out in the center slot. And Leduc sends it all the way down to the other end of the ice surface. Wyatt Leduc has been good in the tournament. One of my selections for the all-tournament team. Tough selections across the board, though, but man, he's impressed me here at the state dance. Puck's taken down by Barrett Stibbe up to the point. Handled down by Rarick across top of the circle. Here's a drive. Cam Bullinger was stopped there on the shin pads from Leduc. Back up to the point. Came across from Rarick again. Bullinger has it underneath the goal line now. On angle shot. That one went off of Berger on the attempt there from Fryer. Sent around to the near side wing off of Kanko Fritz, but I think it went up into the protective mesh, if I'm not mistaken, in the stop of the play with 9:41 left here in this third period.
Well, so far, Red River doing exactly what they need to do on this penalty kill. Sticks in lanes, bodies in front of pucks, and making it real difficult on letting Davies get the puck to the net. You know, they had kind of a look from the side of the net along the goal line, and you know, Berger and Red River will take that, you know, every day of the week, because that's a really low percentage opportunity from that spot.
Shots are 31-22. Red River with the advantage, and the clear attempt out of their own end. Pushed up to the near side wing. Oh, big hit on the near side wall. Arm comes up immediately. Interference is the call. We're going to skate 4-on-4 for the next 2 minutes. As into the penalty box will go Easton Rarick. And slow to get up for the Riders. It's in our blind spot here on the near side wing. The fans are standing here at Shields Arena. We'll get another look at it here on the big video board here at Shields Arena. That was a big hit. The helmet came up. It's that grandstand that tried to clear it out, and he was rock'em sock'em big time.
Yeah, just a play there. Red River rang the wall from Berger's left to try to get a clearance, and you could tell Rarick, you know, always looking for a big hit. He was kind of roaming there on the blue line, and you know that. The deer hunter saw the deer there on the blue line with his head down a little bit. And unfortunately, it was a little bit late, and interference there is the right call because the puck had exited the zone, and he did kind of deplete the Red River player right there, grandstand.
Puck comes underneath the goal line where Spruill's got it here again. Offensive zone for the Riders. They've got possession. 4-on-4 hockey right now as it's going to be handled away to the near side wing. Comes back up to Eichmann. Sent it out in front. Nobody there. Comes back away to the far line. That one hit the side of the cage on the slap shot attempt. Comes back down to Spruill underneath the net. Spruill's got it, side of the cage. Turns and fires. Oh, he hit the pipe. Puck comes back away now to the Riders. They send it back up front to the top of the circle near side. Into the catching mitt it went as Eichmann had a hard wrist shot there. And Wincombe goes down and makes the stop here with 8:58 left in the third period. 1:29 remains of 4-on-4 power play time. Then the Davies power play comes back on with that 5-minute major. Faceoff will be on Wimpkin's glove side. Red River leads this contest on the First International Bank and Trust scoreboard. It's 4-2. Eagles with possession of the puck. Goes all the way back out up into the seats, and that one's going to hit a Sheriff right on top of the head. Hopefully that gentleman from law enforcement is all right. Big thanks to all the servicemen and women across the board. Like their job isn't hard enough. Now they're getting hit with pucks right on top of the melon in the student section.
Well, and it almost dressed the kid, hit the kid dressed like an eagle. So, but probably better hit the law enforcement officer. He took it. Probably would have taken a little bit better than the kid dressed as an eagle. Well, I guess there's 2 kids dressed as an eagle over there. I didn't see that.
Can you imagine walking into the Holiday Station to get your pregame Red Bull and seeing those guys not know there's a state hockey tournament with the Davies Eagles playing for a championship tonight? Probably think that you were seeing things. Puck comes away to the near side wing where it's going to be handled in the offensive zone now by Davies. The puck comes back away to Red River. They're trying to spin it out of the zone on the far side wing. It's bumped up to center ice. Across the zone it comes. That's neutral ice territory where it was drifted off ahead. Off of the lead pass there from Gardner. And it's into the possession here of Davies again. Up at center goes off Archbold all the way down icing is the call here with 8 minutes and a second left in the third. And the Eagles have some frustrations here in this title game.
And it's going to be big boy time for them here, Nick, in roughly 32 seconds when Rarick gets out of the box. They still have 2 minutes of power play. I mean, you got to get 2. It starts with getting 1. When Rarick will probably stay there on the ice. They got Stibbe out there too. So looking ahead a little bit here to get back on the power play. And 2 minutes is a long time for a team like Davies that can pot some goals really quick.
Davies has possession. Cam Bollinger spins back in his own territory. Reynolds was on top of him. Bollinger got it off to the near side where it goes back away down to DeBurs. He tries to bring it up to center ice. The Riders have possession. They just play catch with it with their defensive pairing back on the back end as Eichmann had it there. He moved it up to center. Now it's going to be handled by the Riders. Offensive zone, it comes down for Stibbe only momentarily as it's scrum for Stibbe still battling, taking there and up off the glass it went and down from Mason Stroh. This will be an icing on Red River because the player was still in the box for just a moment. We are now on that 5-minute major power play time again with 2:03 remaining in that 5-minute major. 7:29 remains here in the third period. The power play's out for the Eagles. They trail 4-2 on the First International Bank and Trust scoreboard.
And like we said, Nick, it's go time here, and all of Davies studs are on the ice. And let's see if Red River can get a big kill here and keep the 2-goal lead.
Red River student section banging on the seats here at Shields Arena. Here's Bollinger, shot, save, rebound. Oh, that one swept just wide on the opportunity. Delayed call coming on the Riders. That one's going to be charged.
Leduc. I believe that's on Leduc, Nick.
Leduc is going to the box. Thank you very much. And this is going to be a 5-on-3 for the next minute 54. And you want to talk about primetime opportunities in a state championship game? Here's one right here. Stop was made from Berger, then Leduc got into the Davies player that was on the side of the net trying to bang for the puck. And he pushed him off the play. Did you catch the call? Was it an interference call?
I'm not sure if they have an interference or maybe a hook.
Trying to listen in.
Boy, I didn't hear it, Nick.
The way the press box is set up here at the Shields Arena, we're up top, and all the speakers point down towards the seats of the ice. Here's Bollinger. Top shelf fired that one across, and it missed on the glove side. Back up to Bollinger again. This is Cam. Works it back to the point, handled down by Rarick. Back to Bollinger, shot it on just wide. Stick side, tried to pick it off from Berger, and he missed the net. Puck's going to be taken here by the Eagles at the blue line. Sent down in front, and it rolls all the way down to the other end of the ice surface as that one was cleared down by Garrett Eichmann. 5-on-3 power play for the next minute 16 for the Davies Eagles. They need 2 to tie it. Here comes Baron Stibbe into the offensive zone. Stibbe takes it down back behind the net, works it up top, across it comes. Handled now here by the Eagles at the point again from Rarick, sent across. This is Kanko Fritz with it. He works it back top of the circle. Wrist one up, just missed the net on the high blocker side. Cam Bollinger's got it up top. Bollinger works it back across. Bollinger's got it again. Fired it towards the goal. It was knocked down by the shin pads of Ethan Doctor. Bollinger again, bottom of the circle. Into the far corner it went. Worked back away on the far side. Bollinger to the top of the circle from the far point, right to the center slot. Twist one on goal, save, rebound shot. Loose out in front, carried out in front of the net, and Kanko Fritz was on the doorstep. Knock, knock, knock it, let me in. Berger said, we're not open for business. 5:58 to play in the third period. What a grade A scoring opportunity that was, Dave. And how about the carom off the end boards?
Oh, and a little bit unlucky there for Davies. The puck goes over the net, it comes back over, and Stibbe's got a wide open, yawning net, but the puck's bouncing on him a little bit off the high glass from behind him, and under 30 seconds left here in the 5-on-3.
Then Red River's going to launch it to the other end of the ice surface, and all the way down it comes back in behind Wimkin. 5:45 to play in the third period. 18 seconds of 5-on-3 time as Stibbe's going to carry it down into the offensive zone. Stibbe's got it back here, top of the circle. It comes to the far circle, now at the center point. Rarick wrists one in, knocked down there in front. On the nice defensive stop coming from bench. Puck comes back away to Davies. One man down now here for Red River. Here's a drive out in front, knocked down. No one knows where it's at. It's in the center slot. Red River's got it. They launch it 200 feet. And all the way down it comes. We are back to 5-on-5 play as Red River has weathered the storm. Puck goes back to the far side point. Across it comes. We've got a stop in the play. There was a whistle here. Not sure what it was. Was it an offsides here on Davies? I believe that was maybe the case.
Yeah, the whistle came down behind the bench, and I'm not sure what the linesman called there. I don't know if, like you said, maybe in an offside play there, the linesman's right by the Red River bench. I guess I'm not sure. I don't know if he saw too many men on the ice penalty. He's got the Michael Holm, the official there at the Red River bench. I don't know what they're talking right now. You got some concerned looks on the Red River players' faces as what they're calling here. I guess I'm not sure. Looks like Red River's got a too many men on the ice penalty.
Tim Scarperud looks like a gentleman that isn't too fond of that call. A nervous pacing maybe is how I describe it. 5:07 left in the third period. 4-2 Riders are on top. Ozzy Osbourne on the loudspeakers here at Shields Arena. Student sections haven't sat down this entire game. Most people are seated, but the energy is high in the venue. Power plays back out for Davies. They've had their chances in this one on the man advantage. And it's a power play that's been very tough to compete with here through the postseason. They handle the puck at the point. It's worked across now from Yeager. Far side top of the circle. Goes away down to Demers. Back to Yeager. Can't control the puck at the line. He's got it again here. Trying to settle down the rolling puck. Finally, Yeager's got it under control. Brings it down to the half wall. Sent it out in front. Oh, nobody there on the doorstep trying to feed that one off to Wincham. Just couldn't make it happen, and it comes all the way down on Wimkin. He goes down and makes a save.
And I think, Nick, maybe the ice service with as many people in here is getting a little bit sloppy, because we saw 2 or 3 plays there where the Davies players have got no Red River players pressure them and all, and they can't handle the puck.
Jack Bollinger drops it back off. Here's a drive coming from Archbold. Red River takes it and launches it all the way down. Puck's taken back in behind the Davies net. They set up shop with 57 seconds remaining of their power play. Back-to-back power plays here. One of them was a 5-minute major. Dumped down into the corner. The dump and chase is on, but it's taken here and worked away from Freegee. Freegee's got it here. The puck is going to be launched to the other end of the ice, back in behind Wimkin. It's dropped down into the corner. We're back on the retrieve now for the Eagles in their own D zone is Easton Rarick, and Rarick's got it here, works it up the wall. Red River's got pressure. They've taken away. Here's a drive coming in, knocked down. Opportunity for Mason Reynolds, and the puck goes back out to center ice, and it rolls all the way back into Rider territory. 23 seconds remains here on the power play with 3:29 left in the third period, and Davies was just charged with an icing, trailing 4-2.
And I think there you're seeing the case. These kids for Davies, their top 2 lines have played a lot of minutes. The past 5 minutes of the game with the major penalties and all that, and that's just a tired play. They're kind of a lazy pass that comes when you spent a lot of time on the ice. It looks like we got a timeout now. I don't know who took that timeout, Nick.
3:29 left here. Both teams would probably be all right with it. It's Davies that takes the timeout. They're going to try to use this 22 seconds remaining to see if they can pull this game back within 1. Anything can happen. It's like an eternity with 3:29 left here, but time is really starting to run out with how good Berger's been in this entire state tournament here. Is it a must-score situation in your mind at this point?
I would say it's a bit big for them to maybe get one here by the 3-minute, 2.5-minute mark. I mean, obviously taking Wimkins out has got to be part of the equation here. Credit, there weren't a lot of stoppages there during that 5-on-3, but all credit goes to Red River. I mean, that was a great job of defending. You had sticks in lanes, you had bodies in front of pucks, and basically warriors out there killing the penalty. And like we said, they get so much credit for their offense and their skill, but that's the way that any coach would love to see his kids kill a 5-on-3 penalty out there against some really good hockey players when you have a lot of space in the zone.
Face-off is going to come on the blocker side of Wimkin. We are down to 3:29 to play in regulation. Red River holds a 4-2 lead. Let's go Riders is the chant from their student section. They traveled well tonight, 70 miles down to Fargo for this state championship showdown. LeDuc's got it back in his own territory. Fires it all the way back in behind the Davies net. It's stuck up on the apron on the goal. It's going to be taken off there. Rarick's going to work it away here to the near side. Up to Cam Bollinger. Down to Barrett Stibbe. Whitcomb still in the net here for the Davies Eagles as Stibbe's got it back in behind the net. Red River's back at full strength, and the puck is handled down by the Riders. They work it away out of their own D zone to the near side wall. Comes out to center ice where it's taken by Davies. They launch it ahead forward up into the neutral ice territory. Rarick's got it into the offensive zone. It comes for the Eagles as Demers carried down. Puck was taken away on the near side wing and trying to push it out to neutral ice are the Riders again. Puck's going to be taken here from Coleman with a backhand. Chips this one up and it rolls all the way back to the other end of the ice where Grandstad's in. Had the opportunity, but it was stripped from him by Rarick and back down to the corner for Kankelfritz. He's in after it. Scrum continues underneath the goal line, Rider offensive territory. Far side wall it comes. It's taken away here by the Riders. Here's a drive on goal. Stop, save, rebound. Another one. Another opportunity. Sproul's got it back behind the net. Puck's going to be freed now here for Davies. They've got real estate as they go far side for Demers. Back to Kankelfritz. Makes a move on the wall. Trying to clear the zone. Goes up to center where it's taken and dumped back in. Offsides on the Riders with 2 minutes and 8 seconds to play here in this third period. Said it earlier in the broadcast here that Davies played for a state championship in 2019. They lost 3-1 to Grand Forks Central. They're 2 minutes and 8 seconds away from having another stat line that reads 2022 second place to the Red River Rough Riders. 4-2 is the score right now for Red River. They're on top of this one. Puck comes back into the possession of the Davies Eagles in their own zone. Here for Yeager up on the far side, trying to push out to neutral. Puck's going to be knocked down here from Davies at the center ice zone. Taking a dump down into the offensive territory here for the Riders, but it's the Eagles with possession. They come away on the near side wing, and Yeager's going to have possession here. We did a preview show on Wednesday night. Bob Gillen and I from North Dakota High School Hockey.com. Big thank you to Bob Gillen for what he does at North Dakota High School Hockey.com. We made our picks in this one. Red River came in as the number 3 seed from the East region. I had them picked to win the state championship. They're just the big red machine that Dave's been talking about all weekend here at the state tournament. Something special about them. It's a pedigree that comes with being a Grand Forks hockey player. Net's empty here as Wink comes out of the net. This puck fired down, hit the goalpost on the empty net opportunity.
Sorry, Nick, should have been an icing call there. The ref's kind of looking around a little bit.
Puck's taken here and worked back up to center ice now. Taken here by the Riders. They've got possession again. Grandstand's going to fire it towards the net again. Launches that one 200 feet down, and that one will be an icing. Here with 49.9 seconds remaining here in this third period. And Nate Metcalf is about to blow a gasket, wanting to know why that puck wasn't charged as an icing as it hit the goalpost. The refs deserve all the credit in the world, but there's been a couple here tonight that might not favor Fargo Davies in this showdown. At the same time, Davies has had their opportunities on the power play on some calls as well.
Right.
45 seconds to play here in regulation. Puck's handled by the Riders on the near side wing. It's going to be chipped up in their defensive zone. They're trying to work it down. Puck's freed over on the far side wall. All the way down it comes and rolls back into Davies territory. And time is officially running out. We're down to a half a minute to play in the state title game. 4-2. Red River's on top of Davies here. Puck from center ice, launched in. Hit traffic there on the Mason Reynolds attempt. All right, kids, cut him down. 16 seconds to play in regulation. Into the offensive zone comes Cam Bollinger. Shot was fired on. Red River's going to have an opportunity for the empty netter. This one fired just wide. And it missed the net. And the faceoff's going to come all the way back into Red River territory. 0.5 seconds remains here on the clock. They're going to put up 5.1 seconds, I believe, here back on the clock. Clock operator didn't hit the button quite in time. Red River could taste their 19th state championship. Just a formality now on the face-off that's going to come on Berger's blocker side. Celebration has already started in Grand Forks, I would have to assume. Timeout Red River. Tim Scarprud wants to talk things over with his team. And what do you think's being said in that conversation?
I don't know, kind of a formality at this point. You know, you do the math. Two goals in six seconds for against a team like Fargo. Against a team like Red River. But I mean, he's just kind of rallying the troops here a little bit. Like, okay, guys, let's take a deep breath. Let's play this out like a 1-goal lead here. Okay, let's not let them score. Let's wrap up this state championship. A real workman-like effort from the big red machine tonight, and there's nothing much else you can say. Just a real business-like performance from them. This third period's kind of been a little bit wild with the special teams involved, but as far as who carried the play here at the end, the second into the third period, I mean, it was Red River, and they may be the better team on the ice tonight.
6 seconds is all that remains. Shots are 36-24 Riders. They lead 4-2. And the state championship is going to belong to them here in 2022. Back at the top of the ladder for the first time since 2020. I said it in the pregame show to Tim Scarprud that state championship seemed to come easy for the Riders. He laughed and said, not quite. There's a lot of hard work that goes into it. However, at the end of the day, they seem to come a lot easier for the teams from Grand Forks than anybody else inside of North Dakota. The horn sounds. The clock operator just forgot what he was doing here as the puck goes up into the protective mesh. He's ready to get on out of here, I think. I'm not sure if he's got an old Friends episode that he's trying to get home for on TBS or what.
I guess I'm not sure what time the Red Pepper closes, but I don't know if he's trying to get there, get this one over with.
3 seconds remains. Here's a drive coming. The Riders are state champions in 2022. No, they're not. Drive came in. Look at. They call it now. What in the world did we just see? The Riders throw their sticks and helmets onto the ice. It's over. Grand Forks Red River is a state champion of boys high school hockey for the 19th time. They take down Fargo Davies tonight 4-2 in a state championship matchup that had just a little bit of everything tonight. What a contest.
Absolutely, and hats off to a Fargo Davies team that's really, beat, kind of hanging out by the top of their circles right now. A lot of guys put in a lot of work. You talk about Stibbe, you talk about Wimcomb, you talk about Archbold, you talk about Demers and other seniors. Bulliner on their team. I mean, a good performance, a good state tournament for those guys. I mean, you don't always win the last game of the year, but they can look back at this and be proud of the effort that they gave and be proud of the season that they had. I mean, to win the EDC regular season championship, that's like they used to say, it's tougher to win the WCHA regular season than it is to win the Frozen Four. Just such a tough league. So hats off to them. But then a great performance by Red River yet again. 19-time state championship. It never gets old for these guys, and a real workmanlike effort, like I said, and they deserve to be the champs.
The Riders are victorious. It just seems like Groundhog's Day for everybody else inside of North Dakota high school hockey. Tonight it was Groundhog's Day from 2019 for Fargo Davies, who got so close against Grand Forks Central. Second is the closest they've ever been. Red River has experienced it so many times. They've won more state titles than some teams have even been to the big dance, and they do it again in 2022. Post-game show coming up, brought to you by Planning Team Financial Advisors and our friends at Schatz Crossroads. Dave and I will have the full recap of this hockey game. We'll also have the tournament presentation for the all-tournament team, tournament MVP, the outstanding senior athlete in North Dakota, and the Coach of the Year award. We'll have that as well coming up in our post-game wrap-up of this state title matchup. On the First International Bank and Trust scoreboard, it was 4-2. Grand Forks Red River, they're victorious here at the Shields Arena and crowned the state champion again in 2022.
Where this goes?
I don't know.
Are you sure it was a clicking and not a zoom?
I think your quash litter valve's stuck.
Do you even have insurance?
If we soak it, so it should be good.
No matter how much you know or don't know about your vehicle, trust the experts at Tires Plus. Real answers from real mechanics.
Inspections are free to ensure your vehicle is always in peak condition.
Thinking service? Think Tires Plus.
Thanks for buying some fruit.
Great smiles come from Vibetta Orthodontics. Vibetta Orthodontics is a certified Invisalign provider. Invisalign fits your budget and your lifestyle. Braces for children, teens, and adults with affordable monthly payments. Schedule your complimentary consultation and exam by logging on to VibettaOrthodontics.com or by calling 701-839-6010.
Great smiles come from Vibetta Orthodontics.
Many of our clients come to us already accomplished in their lives and on the right track. However, whether it's in response to a life-changing event or you are nearing retirement, you can sleep well knowing that together we have planned for both life's opportunities and challenges. And no matter what happens, we are here to help guide you.
At Shots Crossroads, we make 8 gallons of homemade ranch dressing every day, so you can smother your dinner salad with it, dip those crispy golden French fries in it, and dunk your breaded chicken strips. You can even cover your... Wait, no. You can't put ranch on steak. Or can you? Shots Crossroads. Don't forget the ranch.
Well, we started on Thursday at noon. We wrap up on Saturday night at 10:33 p.m. And it's Red River that comes in as the 3 seed. Doesn't matter. They could come in as the 9 seed and still have a chance. They get it done tonight. 19th state championship for them. Welcome into our Atlantic Team Financial Advisors at Shots Crossroads postgame show here tonight. Alongside of Dave Wilson, I'm Nick Hulberg. Dave, your overall takeaway on this hockey game, it had to have been classified as an A-plus entertainment value here tonight.
Oh, absolutely. And that's one thing we talked about a little bit. You know, it was coming off the games last night. You know, we wanted a good hockey game. You know, we ran into some old friends and they're just like, boy, you know, everyone's expecting a great hockey game. I really hope it isn't 7-1. And it was like, yeah, I agree with you there. And we got, you know, it was a really good hockey game. You know, 2 good teams, could have gone either way there in the third period. I mean, you know, you feel for the kids on the ice that lost, but then, you know, you're excited for the kids that won the hockey game there. But, you know, a good performance, a great venue for North Dakota State high school hockey. And, you know, it just shows that, you know, there are elite players still here. You know, we take a little bit of a backseat to the Minnesota State tournament, and you hear a lot about that. But, you know, a good performance by these kids. And, you know, I'm thrilled already for next year, for next year's season.
I don't know if anyone else is, however, because Red River's going to bring some studs back off of this club. I know you tallied them up. Is there a number that you have on how many Red River should or could return next year?
Yeah, Nick, doing the math in my head here, just counting the number. They got 16 underclassmen, and one of their better players didn't even play tonight, and that's Carson Scarperud. I mean, you know, you know, we do have the threat of the junior leagues and the select leagues like we talked about yesterday a little bit. But boy, if all these kids come back to play for Coach Scarperud next year, I mean, you've got a salty group that's going to be coming back defending their state championship at Ralph Engelstad Arena next season.
Get ready for that. Oofta. Time for a game reset to this state championship matchup here tonight. Nobody scores in the first tonight, Dave, but Davies scores early in the second, 3:20 in. Luke Lorenz for Ashton Yeager. Kanko Fritz was in on that one as well. Red River scored the next two. It was Dylan Jackson again from Riley Vetch. Then Carter Sproul scored from Mason Ray. All those goals were even strength. Davies scored at 324. Red River scored at 345 and 408. That was a span there in the second period where the action kind of took off like a bottle rocket after it was kind of a teeter-totter defensive grudge match in the first, and that really put some energy in this place, didn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I just, it was definitely a skating game in the first period, but the gap defensive play was there, and the neutral zone there wasn't a ton of space, but boy, the way that things opened up in the second period, like you said, and I kind of was on the other, and I thought it may end to be a little bit tighter there in the second period with a long change period for both teams, but things opened right up in the second and the third period. I mean, boy, we had some wide open plays, and we had some great skill plays made by both teams.
Davies tied it up at 7:39 when Garrett Wincham scored. Baron Stibbe was in on that assist. We went to the locker room at the end of the second, tied at 2-2. In the third, minute 46 in, a power play goal was scored by Wyatt Leduc. Carter Sproul had the assist on the play, and that was one that the Davies fans didn't think the call was right. Brought the place to volume. Nate Metcalf was certainly living on the bench. Didn't matter, Leduc took a power play goal to the bank. That would end up being the game winner. At 6:11, an even strength goal from Luke Beadle to put the nail in the coffin here tonight. It wasn't without the chances of Fargo Davies. They were awarded a 5-minute major late to the hockey game. It ended up being a 5-on-3 opportunity. And the total power plays in this hockey game, Red River had 5. Davies had 3, but one of them was a 5-minute major power play opportunity. Face-offs was a big category tonight. Red River won that category by 10 at 32-22. Quality scoring chances, they had Red River at 11, Davies at 9. The numbers that are also of importance, the goaltender saves. Trent Wimcomb tonight ended up with 35 saves on 39 shots, 25 saves on 27 shots for Noah Berger here tonight. And both of those kids played really well. There was just a lot of offensive talent coming their way tonight. 6 total goals scored here in the title matchup. Time for our move of the game here tonight. Move of the game brought to you by our friends at Roger Ward Moving and Storage. If you're moving across town or across the country, let Roger Ward Moving and Storage help you with your moving and storage needs. Find them online, RogerWardMovingAndStorage.com. Is there one that stands out to you out of the 6 here tonight that really hops off the paper as our move of the game tonight?
Yeah, Nick, I think in the third period, the fourth goal scored by Beidel for Red River for sure. I mean, just, like I said, his uncle is up here talking about, how the game has changed since he played Division I hockey. And, a Division I hockey player is impressed by the skill and the speed involved. And, his nephew down there snags the puck out of there, drops it down to an ice surface that's really bouncy, so the puck's rolling, and he goes in and he beats the all-state netminder for, a 16 shutout career, Trent Wimcomb. For me, that was a fabulous skill play by him, and, kind of the dagger for Red River to kind of drive the point home and send them towards the state championship.
That was a good one, without a doubt. That was a highlight reel play. And it put the nail in the coffin to almost put that one out of reach. There was a power play that came after that, but it really was a nice play that almost deflated the place in a sense. And that was really the big key to that goal, I thought. Time for our MVP of the contest tonight. That's brought to you by our friends at Sport Clips. The MVP haircut experience can be found at Sport Clips. There's nothing like it anywhere else. The MVP experience at Sport Clips. Tonight's MVP brought to you by Sport Clips. There's so many players in this contest deserving of this award here tonight. Each and every night in these matchups, there were so many great kids on the ice and so much talent. Is there one that stands off the paper for you tonight as the MVP of the hockey game?
No, that's a really tough decision. We were kind of joking with each other. They hand out the paper for the all-tournament team in the MVP and in the first intermission up here, and it's like, well, how in the world am I supposed to pick a guy? I mean, you could have picked 6 different guys for who it would have been. I'll go with in my book, Leduc. A senior defenseman gets the game-winning goal in the third period on the power play. Had a big goal last night there. I mean, you can, like, we said it the other night, Tim Scarper has probably got 5 or 6 MVPs on his hockey team. You got Bidall, you got Ray, the defenseman, Eichmann, Dylan Jackson had a great game, the Reynolds and the Spruills of the world were really good. I mean, their goaltender, Noah Berger, kind of the guy that kind of gets put on the back burner. He had a solid game for him as well, but I would say Leduc is my pick, but there's not a wrong pick in this situation.
How do you like being thrown on the pressure cooker to try to pick that every night? That's not fun, is it?
Well, when you have guys that play as well as Red River guys are, I mean, that's a really tough decision. That's a great problem for a coach to have.
The MVP of the game brought to you by Sport Clips. Congratulations, Wyatt Leduc. 62nd annual North Dakota State High School Hockey Tournament here in Fargo concludes with a state championship for the Red River Rough Riders. All tournament team is announced here tonight. Here's the 3 forwards that are on the list. Baron Stibbe from Fargo Davies. That was a unanimous vote. Carter Spruill from Red River. Hunter Nelson from Jamestown as the Blue Jays won the consolation bracket today, defeating Mandan. On the defensive side, Wyatt Leduc from Grand Forks Red River and Zach Moser from West Fargo Cheyenne were selected. And the goaltender that took home the All-Tournament Award here this year was Fargo South Shadley, Noel Olsanowski. We thought he was fantastic last night and through the tournament, really.
Yeah, absolutely, and a shout-out to finish here today. Like we said, Nick, I really hope we see him back in North Dakota high school hockey. He's one of the top netminders in the state.
Tournament MVP comes from guess who? The tournament champions. Wyatt Leduc named the MVP of the State High School Hockey Tournament here in 2022. Outstanding Senior Athlete of the Year. The Senior Athlete of the Year award is presented by the North Dakota High School Coaches Association, sponsored by Powerade of North Dakota. Congratulations to this year's Senior Athlete of the Year for boys hockey. West Region's represented here, and Hunter Nelson takes home that award. Nelson was good in the tournament again, and that Jamestown team, that was a snake bite for them. That was a year where they could have made the TV round. First region championship in the WDA since 1995. Hunter Nelson awarded with the Senior Athlete of the Year for North Dakota High School Hockey. Congratulations there. And the final one, the Subway Coach of the Year for boys hockey, selected by the coaches across the board. The colleagues of Matt Stockert thought that his performance this year was worthy, and it certainly was. Matt Stockert, great guy, great ambassador for the sport of hockey. Matt Stockert is the Coach of the Year for North Dakota High School Hockey here in 2022. Dave, I want your closing thoughts on the State High School Hockey Tournament this year. It certainly was a lot of fun working with you. What do you take away from this big dance here at the Shields Arena in Fargo in 2022?
Well, Nick, once again, I like to say I'm really thankful for the opportunity. We saw some great hockey games. We saw some great skill on both sides. The thing that I take away is just the venue for the tournament. Going back to Ralph Engelstad Arena next year, I'm excited to maybe get a chance to go, back to that facility too. Just to watch high school hockey players. And I mean, for me, the thing that I take away from it the most is I've seen some Minnesota hockey this year too, and some high-end kids. And I don't think North Dakota high school hockey is that far off. Yeah, we lose a few kids to the different levels, but this is as good of a game as you're going to see for North Dakota high school hockey. And the skill is there, the players are there, and it makes me really excited for some of these underclassmen to watch the next high school hockey season.
It's going to be a lot of fun. Dave, we can't thank you enough. I had a great time working with you. Great job on the PSP Network. You're welcome back for as many years to come as you want to be there, man. It was a fun ride with you here at the state tournament here in 2022.
Yeah, and I just want to say too, Nick, the professional that you are, and I follow a lot of your broadcasts with football and basketball and some of the youth hockey things that you do, and I know my Minot has a fabulous ambassador for the sport of hockey and other sports as well. And I'm just it's amazing what you've done with expanding your market into Bismarck and hopefully into the Dickinson and the Wilson areas like we talked about earlier today. And I'm very excited to see where the PSP network goes from here into the future.
Sure, appreciate you. It'd be a lot more fun if it was an all-West final tonight, I have to say. But it was fun tonight for Grand Forks Red River. They pick up their 19th state championship with a 4-2 victory over Fargo Davies here tonight on the First International Bank and Trust scoreboard. Dave, thanks again. Fantastic job.
Thank you.
We have plenty of people to thank for this one here tonight, and we'll start with our sponsors that make these high school hockey broadcasts possible on the PSP Network. Frankly, without them, we just wouldn't be here. Big thanks to all those sponsors that make this possible. Big thanks to our friends that are the coaches, our friends that are the referees, and the friends that are the gentlemen that joined us on the broadcasts all year long. Matt Morelli on the call for all the Mud and High matchups. Big thanks to Dave Wilson for joining us here down at our Bismarck market. Todd Dobries and Mitch Vig had a call of a couple games this year. Sure appreciate those guys for what they did for our hockey coverage in 2022 as well. Big thanks tonight to Ryan Cunningham, the voice of the East Region, the EDC, Red River, and Grand Forks Central, the home for Ryan Cunningham. We thank him for joining us here tonight. Special thanks to Aaron Walski. Great catching up with him. That was fantastic as well. Big thanks to Nate Metcalf joining us here tonight. And a big thanks to Tim Scarproot for joining us. And an extra big thanks one more time for Dave Wilson for joining us here on the call. Fantastic job across the board. Red River's victorious in the state tournament. They win another championship. 4-2 is the final once again on the First International Bank and Trust scoreboard. I'm Nick Hulberg signing off on the PSP Network for the final time from the ice here in 2022. Until next time, have a good night and God bless.
We make 8 gallons of homemade ranch dressing every day, so you can smother your dinner salad with it, dip those crispy golden French fries in it, and dunk your breaded chicken strips. You can even cover your... Wait, no. You can't put ranch on steak. Or can you? Shots Crossroads. Don't forget the ranch.